Taglines, you're it.
Ah,
I hate myself, but I think it's so funny.
come on.
Hey, we're about to get real adult, so I just wanted to make it real playground for a second.
Is this your PSA to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warning, sex.
Warning, this is going to get real racy. And mostly probably about Jared's sex life.
But
as
also,
normal.
like, every episode, we actually should have a PSA at the start of every episode.
No, we just warn people as we tell them that we have it.
By the way, I'm about to talk to my butt. So, and then, like, is about how the stories go. Anyway, taglines. You're it.
All right. Slip into something a shade darker.
Well,
I mean, if vanilla then like got mixed in with a little bit of chocolate,
yeah,
I guess
it's the swirly machine.
Yeah,
you know.
it's the McDonald's soft serve.
That female gasp is Abbie, by the way.
50 Shades of Soft Serve.
Ooh.
It's true, because this is a very vanilla movie in
Right?
comparison to the first one.
Oh yeah. And then every fairy tale has a dark side.
But, like, not really, because they don't really answer a lot of things.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not really.
I
At
keep
all.
wanting to just like go into it, but also like so does Christian Grey. So we'll save it for the episode.
Yes. All right. With a budget of $55 million and a worldwide gross of $374.2 million.
Yes.
I know.
Sorry, I want
right?
that money right now.
3 scenes of oral, 4 scenes of missionary, 3 scenes of doggy, 4 pairs of exposed breast, 2 man-ass shots, 5 lip bites, 1 spanking, 1 boat sailing montage, 1 pool playing montage, 1 sad song montage, 2 scenes of bondage, 1 sexual harassment scene, and 1 purse biting. With 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 33 Metascore, and 10% Rotten, it's 2017's sequel to the giant blockbuster of 2015, 50 Shades Darker. Let's drop some bombs.
Thanks, Rusty. Say hi to Judgito.
We are so cute and cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.
I don't know your name.
Lobo. Lobo Miranda.
Lobo. Truly. Outrageous.
I hope you're not a sore loser.
It depends on how hard he spanked me.
Sarah, be my bloody Valentine.
Welcome to Bombs Away, the only podcast recorded inside a projection booth. My name is Jonathan Young. Joining me in the studio, as always, is...
That chronic condition where you can't stop pulling on your front teeth, Jarrett Seifert.
What?
She constantly pulls on her front teeth.
Oh, I thought
You
she
never
was just
noticed
biting
that?
her lip.
No, she's always going, and like tugging on her front teeth.
Oh.
Like, get your thumb out of there, grossy. That's how you get typhoid.
And joining us back in the studio for the 4th time.
Yes.
Is she our most reoccurring guest?
Yeah. She's our most
Abbie.
reoccurring guest. You can find her on Slumber Party Massacre 1, Slumber Party Massacre 2, and the Silent Night Drinking Night Part 2 episode. Please welcome back to the show, Abbie Sue Bauer.
I'm Abbie, and it's not stalking if you're good looking and have money.
Exactly right. That's the whole message of this
Yes.
series, isn't it?
It really
It
is.
really is.
Guys, this
But
this-
money doesn't always save you, because the head of what is it, Portland,
What?
the book agency, Portland. I want to call it PSA. Her boss,
I'm confused because I don't know what city she works in anymore.
Portland, Seattle. Who knows? They're the same distance, but actually, the movie actually got the time of a helicopter right last time, so I think they
Right.
know at least. Anyway.
I don't know because she works there, but he asks her to move in, and she's totally cool with it, which
And
would
I
mean
thought
her
she was
job.
After like a second
Yeah.
of like, oh, I'm mad at you, but then
she-
he like looks at her a weird way, and she like touches him, and then it's like all is forgiven.
I cannot understand the actual timeline. We were speaking of timelines before we started. I can't understand
No
how
idea.
long it's actually been.
Not very long.
I know she has a conversation with her mother, who seems to have a cold sore, by the way. Did you notice that?
Hey, it's a PSA for the herp.
Right?
Herp and derp.
But they seem to have a conversation of being like, I know it hasn't been long, but I'm like,
Yeah.
how long has it been?
I think it's like a
Like
couple of months. I
weeks?
think. No, I
It
think it's a
feels
couple
like
of months
Well,
because in the
wait.
book, at least, it was like
Yeah.
a couple
Compared
months.
to the first movie? Is this what we're going with?
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
From
think
when they broke
the
up at
first-
the end of the first
yeah.
movie.
End of the first movie to now, I believe. Well,
So,
obviously
yeah,
she
let's catch
graduated.
people up.
She
Okay.
graduated in the last movie, but then they broke up because Christian was like, "You want to show me? Like, I'm going to show you what rough is," and she's like, "Show me what rough is," and he spanks her like 18 times.
And
or
she's like, I
something.
don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
Which I
do-
was like,
We're going to do a challenge
Me
right now.
next.
We're going to do a challenge. You
Oh.
ready? Jared, it's going to be on you. Okay?
Yes,
Right?
on me.
Now, this is the sequel to 50 Shades Dark,
Okay.
right?
50 Shades
Which is Grey.
50
Sorry,
Shades
yeah.
Darker.
Jeez,
Sequel
whatever.
to 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
This is 50 Shades Darker.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yes. With the same cliffhanger.
I hope there are more movies.
Christian is just trapped inside a carbonite. And,
Yes. I hope he's hard in that carbonite.
and that's all gray, so I get
Carbonite.
it. Jared, we're going to do basically a summary challenge right now.
How many times did I mention my butt in the last
No,
episode?
no. For the
3.
audience, if you could sum up 50 Shades of Grey in a minute. Can you do it? You think you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? When you are. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
So there's a girl named Anastasia. She normally goes by Anna, but she meets Christian Grey because of an interview thing that she's stepping in for her roommate to do. Christian Grey then is like, cool, I like you, you're cute, you look like my dead mom, but you won't find that out till the second movie. Anyway, get back to it. They decide to go on a date, and then he's like, yo, I'm a dom, want to be my sub? And she's like, I'll think about it. And then there's a lot of other things that happen.
Well, she's a virgin.
They kind of, oh yeah, she is a big old virgin. And then he takes that away from her. But
30
also
seconds.
virginity is just a construct. So then meets parents, both of them do on each side. And then towards the end of the movie, he's like spanking her, and there's a red room, but he spanks her too much because she wants to know what made him like this. And so he's like, "Wah, wah, wah," and she's like, ah, and she runs away. So then he doesn't talk to her at all.
You
They don't
pretty
talk
much
to each other.
summed it up with only 5
That's about
seconds
it.
to spare. It's not
I
bad.
panicked. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I know. When you hit the 30-second mark, you're like, my God, I was giving too much detail in those
know.
first 30 seconds.
I was like, I loved it too much. Okay, downside of this podcast is
Uh-huh.
I'm more and more loving everything that's worse and worse.
well, yeah. Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize is that we're doing this because we enjoy it. Some people are like, oh, you guys hate bad movies, huh? It's like, no, we
I
freaking
love 'em.
No, we
Yeah.
love them.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Like, there's so many great ones. There's so many great ones on the horizon. Tiptoes. I can't wait.
Oh my god.
Gary Oldman as a little person
Yes.
in a Matthew McConaughey rom-com.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, right. Apparently, he was bashed at Sundance,
And the
So-
director pulled it from Sundance. Or no, the director bashed it like himself. He was
Yeah.
like, I hate what I done.
yeah.
I hate what I
This
done.
was a mistake.
It's gonna be a 1 or 2 months full of little people
Yeah.
because we're gonna do the Leprechaun as well. So there's a bunch of stuff coming up. But
So for 50 Shades though, it's
mind you, this is our most
yeah, people
downloaded
love this
episode
episode
ever.
I think it's the most recent, but I think it's also because people can easily identify that it's been publicly bashed as a bad movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it has every right to be. I know we did Alice in Wonderland, but that one
was just-
it's the modern trope of CGI, too much money, and boredom. Whereas this one, like, yes, they had the money, but they also had the audience that
Well, I mean,
wanted
what
to
it was
see
based on was fan fiction.
Yes.
So you have that. You have the Twilight fan fiction
Yeah.
going on. You've
Okay.
got
So
bad writing. You've got a terrible story. You've got a toxic relationship. It's just
and it's
a
like
recipe for disaster.
It's almost like they tried to fix it in this movie. In the second one, they tried to fix everything that happened in the first one.
So
really, because I thought this one was worse.
No, I got a lot of history for you. Hold on,
but
I'll tell you why.
At some point, he tries to say like, "Oh, I'm not dominant. I'm actually this," and so it's like they try to explain it away. They also like they try to
justify his shitty behavior.
Yes, and it's like no.
So okay,
also
first
creepy mother stuff.
I'd like to bring into the light of there's 2 reasons why we asked Abbie to come back. Well, 3. 1, because one of our favorite guests. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 is because she has knowledge of the books, which we do not.
Yes, I did. I read all of them.
Why?
At the high.
Why?
Because at the time I was like
single.
22 years old. I was single. I was living the life. And so
that hot pants.
Everyone that I was working with at the time was like obsessed with these books. And I was like, I'm never going to read them. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
It was like, what, 2012?
And then someone was like, "Here, borrow mine," and I read it, and then I just got
borrow
sucked
mine.
into it.
It's all like crinkly and wet.
But no, I did. I read the books at the time when they came out, and they were the most popular. And so I was really looking forward to the movies when they made them. But then I was really disappointed with the casting choices. So I can go on a tangent about that.
They hit the nail a little too hard on the head.
Did you think that Charlie, was it Hunan or Hunan or whatever?
Would have been a better Christian Grey?
Yeah, do you think?
No. I didn't like this.
I didn't think he looked...
Who was he?
He's the
guy off Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
Huh?
The
He's
main dude.
Blonde dude.
Blonde, long hair, kind of.
He's in
he was also
King
in that,
Arthur
that
movie that we
shitty King
should do.
Arthur movie.
Yeah.
Oh, so is he more of like a Viking-looking person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have been good.
He looked like a poor man's Thor.
Yeah.
Yes. Accurate.
For this one, you need someone that's more of a slender muscle than like a thick muscle.
For me, when I read the books, I was really picturing more of like a Matt Bomber, sort of like Clark Kent kind of look to him.
Okay.
Kind of this very looks good in a suit. Like this guy, I mean, I like this actor, but he has dead eyes. Like it's...
he has dead eyes, and his mouth does the weird... he has cat lips.
He has a weird lip thing, and his like butt chin thing is kind of weird. Like I don't know,
But
he's good looking, but he just is not how I imagine.
See, this is the other reason why I asked you to be on, because I really felt like we needed 3 different visual opinions here. Okay, we have the straight male and myself, we have the gay male and Jared, and then we have the female's perspective, which is what these movies were written and tailored to.
PSA, I'm really hooked on the word, the string of letters PSA today, apparently.
Yeah.
But Jamie Dornan, something like that.
I don't know.
He's
get it right.
He's done full frontal nude photography before, so I was like, just show your penis in this movie, you idiot.
Okay, why is it
because he's got a good dick.
Okay, even in the shower, he's like, I ain't taking clothes off.
Yeah.
It's like
also,
Arrested Development, where he's wearing the shorts.
Let me ask. I'm just going to put it out there. Let me ask. Is it hot for a man to be like, I'm just going to show a little bit of crack and just pull it down a bit and just insert?
No, because that's not where the money is.
Okay,
we want to see it
because that's what you saw in this
vault.
movie, right? You basically this movie was like we've only got 5 minutes to have sex, kind of sex, right? It was like last minute type sex, and at all times it was like, let me unbuckle my belt real quick and just boom, put it in. And
it was like a lot of fast forward quickies, is what it was.
Yeah, quickies. That's what I was thinking.
But
right?
even in the sex scenes, it was very. It was like.
Well, it was like really boob heavy.
It was boob heavy, but even
5 scenes of boobs, guys. Yeah. I have the totals here.
It wasn't. They didn't even get to like the BDSM stuff. It was like, here's one object. We start to do it, and then all of a sudden we're taking it off because we just can't resist like penetration.
Okay,
that
so
was it. That was
the whole
every
ball
sex
thing.
scene.
That was like ridiculous.
Oh,
so we're about to dive in. We're about to dive in here, but I do have to ask,
like a Beyblade.
How much actual BDSM is in the second book here?
A lot.
A lot.
There's a lot more detail in the book.
And okay, because I feel like we got 2 scenes of bondage.
Yeah, it's a lot more. It's a lot more
spanking.
descriptive and a lot more violent, I would say, like in the book than it is in the movie.
And
which
she's
I feel
totally without any real without any real like change of character.
Like,
it's fully into it now.
I mean, in the book, it's like there's so much more character development. I mean, this isn't a very character development heavy movie, but like just
for a movie,
story in general. But
for a movie,
but like
that
in the
focuses...
book, you. In the book, you really have you kind of have an idea of, I don't know, how you think this person is going to behave. And I think for me too, my hardest thing with this movie was like just the casting. No, was the casting of Dakota Johnson, because to me she was just so whispery.
See,
and she
I hate
and
her
she
bangs.
was not very good
bangs.
at standing her ground. She's sort of just like, I don't want to do okay. Like, and that was it. And there was no sort of like, you didn't really feel for her, and you just kind of felt like she was weak, and which is not how the character is portrayed in the books.
I get why she is that way, because it's supposed to be fan fiction of Twilight.
Yes, it is. And she's supposed to be this kind of passive person.
Yeah, passive, quiet.
But I think Dakota Johnson has this weird quality about her where she's just so painfully, awkwardly passive. Like, she's too passive.
But also, so I get in because it's based off of Twilight. In Twilight, in 50 Shades, each person is supposed to be this very plain thing that you can project yourself onto and live in that life.
Of glitter. Sorry.
Why was...
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to... I was like, I don't want to beat you up right now.
I hadn't talked in like a minute or two, and I needed attention. I'm sorry.
So, we know. But so...
We'll get to you.
But in this movie, she does it too violently. She talks... She always kind of talks.
She kind of talks like this.
She doesn't want to fully raise her voice. And even when she does, she's like, I swear, Christian, I really don't want to do this. You make my heart hurt. Like, she's trying to yell, but she's got like a vocal like obstruction. And she's like, I don't know. And you're like, God, just get past 10 decibels.
Like, for me, when I pictured Anastasia Steele, I was picturing more of kind of like a Blake Lively kind of type, where she kind of has, just a...
Like a quiet badass.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't expect them to, but they own
because
it.
Blake Lively kind of has like a passive way when she acts, but but she can still hold her ground as a woman, and so that's what I was.
And even the creepy stalker girl calls her out on it.
Yeah.
Even Miss Robinson is like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But I did love when they all team up on Mrs. Robinson. But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
What is scene one? I don't know. We're talking about
already.
the movie.
Scene
when
one.
they just team up on Miss Robinson. Okay, scene one.
I wish.
Shows a flashback to Christian's past as a child, and he is basically chased under the table by...
Well, he runs and hides under the table.
By his mom's crazy boyfriend.
Right,
was
his
his
husband or his
Okay.
dad?
I think it's his dad.
What is it in the book? Because somebody wrote a review saying that it's his mom's pimp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because his mom was doing all kinds of drugs and stuff, and she was
So we
prostitute.
don't know the dad.
But we don't know who his dad is. I don't think so. I don't remember anyway. It's been a long time. It's been 2012 since I read that book. But
okay. So, and you read all three?
I read 2.5, I guess. 2.5.
Hey, that's what I did for Twilight. Wait, are there 4 for Twilight?
There are.
There are 4.
Yeah.
I read none and a half because I read half of the 4th book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically read half.
I saw the first 3
I read
movies.
half of the 3rd one, and then I just kind of skimmed it and went to the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where they end up happy, but the daughter is sucking the life out of her
Okay.
as she cuts her open, and then the baby's born, but the baby grows too fast.
I didn't
but then
read.
Taylor
I didn't
Lautner
read Twilight
imprints
though.
on her.
I didn't
okay.
read Twilight.
That's
no.
all Twilight.
My mom did though. She was a Twi mom. My mom, I'm serious. My mom took me to all of the premieres at midnight. She was one of those ladies that lined up, and she's like, "You gotta go with me," and I'm like, "I don't want to." And she
was like,
she
"You're
guilted
my
me into
excuse
it.
for being there."
Yes.
Wait, did she own the name Twimom?
I mean, she was part of that little
Where she
club.
was like, I'm a Twimom.
No, she had a group of little friends that they would go, and they were moms, and they would go and see these movies together. So, yes.
That's
My
cute.
mom loved Robert Pattinson. That was her crush.
Okay, Robert Pattinson
was she
is
upset
pretty
at Harry Potter
sexy.
4?
She did not watch Harry Potter 4 because she didn't, know about. She wasn't really a Harry Potter fan, but she was. Yeah, she read all the books of Twilight back and forth. She, that was her thing.
She saw Water for Elephants for no reason.
Actually, my mom has my 50 Shades books right now.
Oh, don't take those back.
Ooh, it's so steamies.
So yeah, we get our flashback. We find out a little bit more about Christian Grey, and then we go into Anastasia.
Yeah, and
Yes,
and
they-
Beverly Hills.
Does
Anastasia
anybody-
Beverly Hills.
So
It's a makeup line.
she's got a video voicemail. Does anybody actually send video voicemails?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Did I watch the movie?
Is it a
I don't
FaceTime
know.
thing? Is that like, can you get those?
It's like FaceTime, but she's clearly not able to respond. Like, it is a video voicemail being like, wish you were here, bye.
I don't know why that
by
seems really
her-
weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Video, like, nobody
Nobody
people
does
send
that.
a real voicemail, right? They don't send video voicemail, but the
No.
movie has to remind you that these people exist,
Yeah.
right?
Well, they
So
gotta show
it's-
you their faces because you're like, oh, who's that person?
But it doesn't matter because I then later on still go, oh, who's that person?
Like, I
Okay?
thought
every
Rita
time
Ora-
Mia, I'm like, who the
Yes.
fuck are you?
That's okay. So that's Rita Ora,
okay,
Yes.
right? And I legit was like, oh, they explained away like recasting her by dyeing her hair blonde.
Oh,
right?
so that's not the same person?
No, but
Oh.
it is.
No,
But
it
I
is.
thought that's what
Same
they did.
character?
Yeah.
Or
Well, her
same
character-
actress?
Same actress, same character.
Well,
No
her
idea.
character's
No
adopted.
idea.
That's
Yeah.
why she doesn't look like the family.
Wait,
Yeah.
they're
No, I get
all
that.
adopted?
They're all adopted, yes.
But so in the
Jeez.
first movie she has brown hair, in this movie, the second one, she has blonde hair. But I thought that like the actress, I thought they recast her.
Wait,
no.
But they
No.
didn't.
Wait, so they're all adopted,
They're
and
all
yet
adopted.
the brother still turns out to be a typical douchebag of a rich family?
Yeah.
I can't remember if one of them is not adopted. But I know that Rita Ora and Christian Grey are both adopted
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, so Mia Gray, yeah.
Mia Gray is
Every
adopted,
time she
yeah.
came on screen, I was like, who are you? What is
Yeah.
happening? Why
and
are
it's
you
because
here?
like she dyed her hair blonde, and she
Right?
was like, "You like the new me?" And I thought that was supposed to be like because it happened in Twilight. One of the siblings in Twilight,
Oh,
they
yeah.
recast, and I thought that was supposed to be a subtle like.
No, that was the villain they recasted.
Oh, it was the villain.
It was the redheaded chick.
Yeah.
Because I think
That's
she
right.
had said some comment or something, then they gave her the boot, and they're
Yeah.
like, bye.
Michael Bay's a Nazi.
Yes, and then they were like,
That's-
goodbye.
That's actually
But
But
they
like,
originally wanted to cast
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard anyway, and she
Yeah,
wasn't
they
available
did.
at the time. So that's who they
I love
really
Bryce.
wanted from
Bryce
the
is my
get-go.
favorite.
Mm.
But yeah, I thought it was like a subtle
Vampire
like.
in heels.
I know way too much about these movies.
They're
No,
so
it's
good.
fine.
They are really good movies. We'll have a day.
That's
we'll
why
watch
you're
all
here.
of them. Yeah.
So
She has a
basically,
video voicemail.
We haven't really
but
gotten
that
to the
happens. That's not just her. That's the roommate. Is
Yeah, I totally
go,
forgot
I
who
don't
the-
know.
I
who
forgot
you
her
are.
face.
But this is a movie that decides that it's going to spend 99% of the time with two actors, right? And then sprinkle the other actors in and expect you to be like, oh, like literally halfway through every scene that other people are in, other than the mom. Like it was clear who the mom was, right?
Yeah.
But every
And
other
Jose.
person. Yeah, Jose.
We
just
all know
get
who
over
sad
it, dude.
Jose
just
was.
get over
Well, we'll
it.
get to him in a second.
Jesus, Jose. Okay, but every single person in these films, they expect you to know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I can't because everybody is forgettable.
Again, this is
as
another
hell.
situation where in the book there's so much more
Mhm.
like details with these characters that you're like you understand, you know who they are. So
Right.
in the movies they're very forgettable because that whole party sequence was like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes, and I
Well,
was
this is another thing. We're in that party sequence. They're wearing like masquerade mask, and they're expecting me to know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Like you're just making it harder. Like this was a game of guess who.
I don't know, I feel like this whole
Does she have blonde hair? Yes. Okay, moving on. Does
well,
she?
it felt like this whole movie was casted with actors. They're those actors like you recognize their face, but you don't know what their name is.
Yeah.
like they're very
Even worse.
Well,
they're very
even
nobody
not even-
actors. That
I
you
wouldn't
don't...
say that. I would say it was they went through a catalog of Vogue
of default
and-
white people, and they
Yeah.
were like, "You look decent
Well,
looking."
they had a modeling book, and they were like, "You look like you're rich and obnoxious. You look like you're rich and
Yeah.
obnoxious, and you look like you would sexually assault one of your workers."
Yeah.
Like, it looks like they just picked the people.
But then again,
that
maybe these were the
models.
only people that would accept. They maybe they had like a long list of actual
Well,
like great actors, and they
'cause
just all turned them down.
I remember after the first movie came out, they were like, "Oh, so and so might not come back. This person might not come back because they like
was
saw
terrible.
everything."
So before we get deep into it, I guess, even though we
Too
already
late.
are,
Yeah.
right?
Let's
Too
actually,
late.
we need to talk about this.
Speaking of who didn't come back, the director of the first film did not come back.
Wasn't
okay?
it Sam
I will say that's a
Taylor
little
Johnson?
prevalent.
What's that?
Was it Sam Taylor Johnson, or was she the director of this one? I can't remember.
Oh, so the director is Sam Taylor Johnson. You are correct, right? And the screenwriter Kelly Marcel did not return for this film. The director for this film and the following, because they were filmed back to back, right?
Yeah, they were because there was a teaser at the end.
Yes, right?
So weird.
Was James Foley, and the
James
James Foley is famous for doing. He did a lot of Madonna tour videos in the 80s. He also did Madonna's "Who's That Girl" in 1987. He did Marky Mark's "Fear." Yeah, who? Not that one. Who's that girl? That one.
Back at me.
No.
Yeah, Mulan. We know.
And
we know.
No, it's not. And then Glenn Ross. So
Yeah,
like that's
there
what
it is.
that's what he's famous for. He did this, and then the writer is the husband of
Husband.
No, guys, stop.
We gonna shit on you, bitch.
He's the husband of E.L. James, the writer of the book.
Oh,
James Earl Jones.
Oh, I did not know that.
Right? Which is why many fans, when they reviewed this film, felt that this was more closer to the book than
it
the
was.
other one. Was it?
It was closer, but it still lacked a lot of detail.
I will say this one, I think, had a better.
I think it had a better through
It was
line.
more aesthetic. I
Yes.
think this one was more aesthetic than the first one. The
God,
first one
we're
was
fans,
the
aren't
first
we?
one was
We're
very
fucking
rushed.
fans,
I
aren't
know.
we? Damn it.
I know I'm a fan. But the first one is very much just like you're experiencing rich life. You're doing things you never dreamed of. You're bashful.
The
you're
fantasy
weird,
is more there
blah.
than it is
Yeah.
in this next one.
In
There's
this one,
no,
it's just kind of like this is
There's
life.
not really
This
much
is
of
life
it.
now.
Yeah.
yeah, there's not much of a plot, I
Yeah.
guess, is
Oh,
what I
yeah.
would say.
This one's a very in-betweener.
It's
Yeah.
very sort of flatline until like the last maybe like
Yeah.
10 minutes. You're like, "Bloop, bloop," and then like it goes back to flat. like,
How'd that go?
like that's exactly how this movie like
Yeah.
was to me anyway.
It has one heartbeat on
No,
the.
no,
Yeah,
but
and-
it was ever since he asked her 2 questions in this film, and ever since he asked those 2 questions, like from asking and then to the end of the movie, which is the final 30.
How many
45
zombies have you
minutes of it.
killed, and how many people have you killed? No, that's
But
Walking
like the
Dead
final
3
45
questions
minutes
thing. I'm sorry.
of the final 45 minutes of the movie is like when the main like not establishing. It's when the main action, I guess, air quotes around the word action because it's pretty dull.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when it takes place. It's when you actually get momentum. The first part of
the
it is like
climax of the movie.
yeah. The
So
first
let's get through the
hour and a
first
half.
hour and
Yeah.
15 or something right here, right? So she sees a voicemail by her roommate, being who is still dating Christian's
I forgot
brother.
about that.
Right, and it's like, "Hi, I wish you were here in the Camdens or the Bahamas or wherever I am. It doesn't matter. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I got lucky because of you." You know,
And the guy is like, told my shithead brother, I said, hey. But, like, she hasn't talked to him in 4 days. I don't
Right.
know the timeline because I don't
Exactly.
know how far apart they are.
right? Because apparently they don't know they've broken up. Nobody knew they
Yeah.
broke up, right? Other than I think her mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So through this, by the way, I think we all like you saw the billiard scene, right?
They're playing pool together.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. The first
that
thing
didn't
that
happen
pops
in the
into my
book.
mind is the whole buying portraits thing.
Okay, well, no, I'm just asking because
Oh.
the billiard scene is the most definitive scene that was cut out of the theatrical and
oh yeah,
then
yeah, I
added
didn't.
into
Yeah,
unrated.
I didn't see that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
It wasn't in my version.
Oh,
So in the book,
shoot.
do they play
I'm sorry,
pool
that's
together?
my fault.
I can't remember. Honestly, it's
okay.
been a long time since I read the books.
Okay,
Well,
but
at least you
so
can't remember.
the
That's
reason why
good.
I'm bringing it up is that there are going to be multiple scenes throughout this that I can't imagine watching it without these scenes because I'm like, I don't think I would. There's so
Understand what's
much
happening.
left on the cutting room floor. Like, there's a whole website dedicated to all the stuff that's on the cutting room floor, which
I'm kind of glad we both watched the same version then.
I
Holy
know,
shit.
right? Yeah,
Oh my God.
all the scenes with her calling her mother, which are 2 scenes in this film, as just more establishing,
two.
all cut. Right, like yeah, stuff like that. There's more interactions. The whole alleyway scene where he makes out with her, gone.
Yeah.
Like there's so much stuff that is gone. So we'll get into that. Okay, so
Yeah.
now,
Basically, the start
she's
of the
going
movie-
around town. She's upset. She like every person that's jogging.
Yeah.
She's like, somebody's jogging, right? And
And
it's
she
like,
thinks
calm
it's
down, bitch.
Christian.
Everybody
But
jogs
the
in
start of the-
Seattle. I'm pretty
The start
sure.
of the movie also establishes her job, right?
yeah, that she has a
Yeah.
job,
She's
that
a-
she's independent, that
She's
you
a
know.
publisher's assistant. She has her own place, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's also still living with her roommate. But her roommate is off
It's the same
vacationing
place. We
in
just don't
Coral
realize
Reefs.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same place because they
No?
moved cities.
No,
They used to be outside of the cities, and then they moved into them.
Who cares?
I don't think so.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure they're in the same apartment.
No,
were in the
they
last
did not
movie.
have that good of a library. Also, no one has that good
Library.
of a library. They literally have a library. It's so stupid.
Welcome to Portland.
Yeah. Nerds. I'm kidding. I have friends up there. Sorry, Stephanie and Kelly.
You goddamn nerds and your books.
Anyway, but yeah, it basically established that she's like an editor's assistant for like a Portland publishing agency. What?
Right.
There it is. And he's kind of creepy. Like you get off the bat, like right off the bat, he's like, "Hey, nice boobs," but more or less, right?
Right.
Like, he doesn't say it with so many words, but
Right.
he does. He gets there.
So, meanwhile, Jose, her friend from the first movie that has a crush on her, has invited her to an art show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And while this has also been happening, Christian has been trying to get a hold of her, or at least contact her by sending her roses and like I'm sorry's and stuff like that, right?
Obsessive behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, normal
Women would call the cops in this situation.
Typical Christian, you know, like
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I would. I'd appreciate it. I've had a stalker before, but he wasn't that fancy.
I don't know. This movie made me
But I did sleep
really,
with my
really
stalker,
angry
so.
at just the amount of like toxic relationship that was happening in this situation.
The problem with
but
this movie is that it encourages this behavior, but unless you're rich,
And
this
good-looking,
behavior
then it's
isn't
fine.
going to be acceptable, and that's the problem.
See,
Yeah, because you know if like an ugly
I'm
person.
pretty sure I said this in the last one too.
Yeah.
But like, but that is a problem. that is sucks
But-
Well, that's a-
because
that's a society
also,
problem, too.
Yeah, but because you know what, we all grew up on John Hughes' '80s movies. That it was basically like if you're persistent,
Yeah.
you'll get the girl, right?
See, like money is nice and helps, but if they're handsome, it makes you feel real special. Which is how you end up
Because
sleeping with your
handsome-
stalker.
Yeah.
That literally texts you, "You can block me on Facebook, but you can't block a phone number."
Wait, has this happened to you?
Once.
Are we talking? I mean, are we going?
Only once, I guess.
Wait, what? You can
He
block,
wouldn't leave me
You can block
alone.
me on Facebook, but you can't block my number?
Yeah.
Yes, you
Well,
can.
why didn't you just block the number?
You can go
Okay,
to settings and
Hey,
do it.
this was 2011. You couldn't block
You could
numbers.
block a number.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
very dumb in
Yeah.
2011.
So
Don't
I
blame
slept
me.
with him.
I did inside of my school's theater. So now I'm one of
What the hell?
the notable people that have slept with someone inside of a black box theater.
No,
It
there's
was
a
pretty
lot,
cool
I'm
though.
sure.
Actually, but no, he actually was a really good lay. So I guess he's got that. going
Anyway,
for him.
back to the story.
They always are, aren't
know.
they? Right?
I was like, ooh.
I'm
but
crazy.
Honestly,
We're
if
gonna
you-
fuck hard.
I'm not gonna I'm gonna bash on myself just because I love to. I'll say I'm like a 6 out of 10. We'll go with that. That's a pretty decent, right? That's a good number to be.
So you're not good enough to be hung on a wall in a giant portrait size.
No.
but I am good enough to be stalked by an
Okay.
8 out of 10. So
Wow.
he's got psychological issues and low standards, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But also, he's back in Missouri, so I'm fine.
Sure. Right.
I'm in LA now, so
He's listening to this right now.
and he's probably pulling the patch.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Jose has this big portrait exhibit.
Thank you.
thing,
And Jose was really the stalker of this film. It's creepy.
Okay.
Okay, can we got to establish some story here. We're moving very slowly. So Jose has this big exhibit, and and Christian decides to buy all of the portraits. Like, that's not weird
There are
Number
6
because he didn't want anyone
Yeah.
else looking at her.
Guys, I'm pretty sure you can't sell someone's likeness without permission.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yes,
sure
'cause she
you
didn't
can't-
even know he took those pictures of her.
No
Well,
idea.
I think she knew he took the photos.
No, she literally said, "I didn't know you took these."
Oh.
Wait.
She's
but
like,
they're
when-
like professional photos.
She's like, "When
She
did you
said
take
that?
these?" I think, like, honestly, I thought she was a situation where it was like a candid photo, you know, and she's
Yeah.
like, didn't think he was gonna make money off.
Because
of
she's
this.
looking like dead into that lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
She's
I don't know.
peering into
I think,
his soul on that one.
I mean, she could just
It's
play
like the
playing
best
dumb,
lighting.
but I think,
There's no way.
I think she just, yeah, I think she didn't know.
I think she was more like, oh shit, I didn't think you'd use them.
yeah.
Like what? When? What? No.
So anyway,
Christian buys all the
yeah,
photographs.
there's gigantic, like what you would put over top of a fireplace versions of what she's like. you
No
know,
one
like-
would have a portrait like this.
No.
No, like if it's
Well,
your own
and
daughter,
he's also
your
selling them
dead
for a lot of money. And
child,
where is
I
her
don't
cut
know.
in that situation?
Right. For
Right?
Christian to buy them, you like it's already established that you know that he sold them for a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Which you
But where
have-
is her commission?
There's no commission because like you can't sell somebody's likeness without permission. You get sued and you go to court. So, but basically Christian like as all stalker ex-boyfriends do,
Spends
is like
$20,000.
and I'm gonna buy every single photo because and like it's not even
I don't like people looking at you.
Yeah,
right.
that was the explanation.
It's not even like, oh, I just thought I'd help your friend Jose out. Like I know he needs money, or like I thought they were gorgeous photos. I don't like people looking at you.
They're not
I
even
understand
together.
that, yeah.
Right? I might slit your throat later. That's like
consider
it's
me
so
lucky.
insane.
Well, I mean, this whole movie was just filled with red flag after red flag after
Yeah.
red flag. and
He's
it's-
nothing but a red flag.
Yeah, but
Right?
see, this is a
Nope,
really
don't
good-
even
But all he
defend
has-
it.
No, I'm just gonna say
But all
I'm
she
not
has to
defending
do
it.
is touch him, and
Yeah.
then everything's okay.
It's
He shuts down. Don't
and
touch
this
me.
is-
Touch me, and then she touches him, and then they have sex, and then everything's fixed.
So I've never
Okay.
watched BoJack Horseman, but there's a great line in it. When you're wearing rose-colored glasses, all of the red flags just look like flags,
Okay.
which is really good because rose-colored glasses.
I mean,
it's the
I
analogy
see
like
it.
rose-colored glasses make everything look pretty. And whenever there are red flags, but you're wearing these glasses, whenever you think everything
Also-
looks pretty, they just look like whatever.
Also, he like invites her to dinner, and that's when she has the infamous line.
Ew. Sure.
Do it.
I'll go to dinner, but only 'cause I'm hungry,
Hungry.
and then we'll talk.
Yeah. No, it's stupid.
It's so clunky,
Right?
It's clunky dialogue.
And as they walk away, Jose is like a puppy dog. Like,
Yeah.
did you really expect that you were gonna win her over by like posting gigantic pictures that you didn't ask permission for?
It was creepy.
Yeah. Like
out of all
everybody-
the things that
Okay,
Christian does,
guys-
Jose's the creepy one.
Guys-
Yikes.
Here is Anastasia's love history in her life. Okay, I almost get I almost get sexually assaulted by my friend Jose as he makes out with me drunk at a club, and then a rich, abusive S&M guy takes my virginity and basically treats me like shit versus doesn't treat me like shit on and off all day and is very possessive. And then my boss almost rapes me. Like, this is her sexual escapade
Not a
history.
great
Well, that didn't happen
history.
yet until
Yeah.
later in the
I know.
movie.
I'm just saying, like, this is what this
Yeah.
girl, like, wow.
Well, I mean, I think her whole thing with Christian is the fact that he did take her virginity. I think that's why she's more
Yeah.
attached to him than other men that you would be, you know.
Man.
So, I mean, to have that as your first experience, that's pretty intense.
This is why I've avoided that.
Having a first experience?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Still a virgin,
I
guys.
slept with a marine biologist. Marine biologist took my
I
virginity.
like dolphins. I don't know.
I don't, but I think he did. I wonder if he's down
Showed
here.
you his blubber.
Oh, he did have a little, but I was into it.
Okay, so they go to dinner, and like Christian's obviously fidgety and like weird and like nervous about the situation because he has to like admit feelings, and like the waiter's not making it any better because he's
Yeah.
like standing over top of them and trying to open a wine bottle, but like it
And it's
doesn't
like
come off as
comedic
funny.
effects. It's like like they overproduce the sound effects for opening a wine bottle, and then Christian eventually grabs one and was like, "I got it, thanks." Like takes it away.
Right. So basically, they established like, if we're going to continue this, she goes, "I want no rules, no punishments, no secrets." And I'm like, wasn't that the point of the entire series? Was rules, punishments, like S&M, like all this kind of stuff? And now she's like, I just want a normal relationship.
Well, I just find it interesting that he would like stick with her. It's like he can have anyone that he wants who will play by his
Yeah.
rules.
because
he's
that's
done
the
it before.
fantasy that's keeping the readers wet,
Yeah, it is.
right?
Like she's
basically,
the one that's going to change him.
she's
you
the
know?
one who's going to change him, and she's totally normal and like an everyday girl, just like all of you readers, right?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, because
Yeah.
she's nothing special. She looks
isn't.
just like his mother, who's a crack whore. Like, so like if she looks just like his mother and just like Elena, the stalker in this film, then she's nothing special. And I'm sorry,
Well,
with
there-
those kind of bangs, you're not something special anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's literally a scene where Elena's like, "What makes you so different?"
Right?
Like,
And she's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
yeah, this was your time to be like, I'm awesome, I'm special, like, but no. So
well,
anyway,
she's trying not to get shot in that scene. To be
But
fair.
anyway, we'll get to that scene.
yeah. What makes you so special? Everything, bitch.
After dinner, Christian walks her back to her place, and we get my favorite line where she's touching his stubble, and she goes, "Spiky, I like it."
Okay, so I wrote here.
It's
I wrote
so
in my notes.
stupid.
I did write it here, right? Is that the beard comment and the texting of inside jokes in this film feel like the
Laters,
only
babe.
thing that, like, feel like the
hate
only
it.
thing that's a genuine, like, people do this in relationships.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I like your new beard, like that, or the Laters babe joke. Was the only time where I was like, they feel like a genuine couple in this one moment, this one interaction, right? So he gives her a gift, and he's like, no strings attached gift, right? And it's the
NSA.
biggest Apple product placement, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I thought he already gave her a phone and a laptop.
She like tossed it out because she was mad at
Is this
him.
the thing where he also gave her the $24,000?
No, it's coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why he gave her that.
I don't remember what $24,000 was for,
Yeah.
right? So, now it's also established in the next scene that Jack is her boss and that he's kind of douchey. You know, he uses an Android versus an Apple, so he's definitely a douche. And,
Yeah.
He
right?
kind of looks like a reject.
It's okay to say, guys. It's okay to say. Only like 11% of our followers are Google Android. So
He looks like a reject.
Alexander Skarsgård.
Yes,
Like literally
100%.
a reject version of
I
Alexander Skarsgård.
didn't know his name till you said that, and I was like, "Oh,
That's
There you
the
go.
first thought
Yeah.
I like.
There you go. So, Jack is like, hey, we're going to go out for like a marketing meeting, like
Yeah.
at the bar afterwards. And she's like, I can't go. I got to go with my boyfriend. And he's like, invite him along. So they go, and Jack dresses like a 1940s press person. Like, he's
I
got
thought
like
it
a
was-
tan trench coat.
yeah."
Like,
What was that outfit?
I don't know, because like, I expected him to have like a monofilament bulb, like flash camera, like.
I
like-
thought it was more of like a 1980s Coke businessman, like doing the blow but getting it done.
Well, it was that tan like jacket
Yeah.
that like you just don't see anymore, but like you definitely saw with like a press person with like a card in their hat
Yeah.
that said like 5
Excuse me,
3/4,
sir.
like it's the
Can I
Mad
get a
Hatter.
photo
I
and
don't
a
even know what's
statement?
going on. Right? So like he's there, and I don't think they even get into I think they say 2 sentences before Christian comes in, interrupts them, and is rude, right?
Because like Christian was there like the entire time. 'Cause
Right.
he's a stalker.
Right, but they've
Yeah.
only said 2 sentences, so it's not even enough to be like, oh my god, she's flirting with him.
She's like,
and
"Hello?"
they genuinely had one, like they had one sentence of one thing in
Yeah.
common. Like, there's not even enough in this film of Jack to make me,
No.
like, it
And, like,
escalates
his-
so
yes,
quickly
his
out of
behavior
nowhere.
is so bizarre.
Erratic.
Because like literally she just says hi, and then like Christian's like, we're leaving, and you're like, wait a minute, they never even
Right?
they never
Yeah.
talk to each other.
Right? Hey, what
So-
do you think about Shakespeare? I love Shakespeare. I'm gonna rape you.
oh,
That's like how it goes. Like, it's not Shakespeare as the author that they're talking about.
But if you
But
understand,
that's the next scene, basically.
But, like,
Jack disappears for an hour and 15 minutes,
But, like,
and then
you-
comes back and is like, it's rape time.
yeah.
but if you understand like his relationship with Christian Grey, then like you understand his erratic behavior.
Okay, so
'Cause
what
it's
is
totally-
that in the book? Because
Well,
it's
he-
not there.
I don't know if this is established in the third book
Well,
or the third.
All he does is call him Chris, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
well, they have
in this-
they have a history together.
Yeah, in this movie,
Okay, where was that?
The only-
It's going to be in the
please.
third one, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you'll find out why he's cray cray in the third one.
Yeah, but is it explained in the book? In the second book?
I don't think.
well,
I
in
can't
the
remember.
in the second movie, all we get is that Christian is trying to buy out this publishing company.
Which is
Well, he did-
also
he did buy
weird
it.
and creepy.
he bought the company.
Well, he doesn't buy it.
He doesn't buy it by the
before
time
it
Jack's
happens.
fired.
He just knows the CEO and
Yeah.
gets Jack fired.
Right?
And that's like the
Which
only
also
beef
is-
between them. That's like all we are shown. Is like he's purchasing the
there's
company,
more,
but also
you
gets him
guys.
fired.
Oh,
There's
but
Oh god, I'm so
more.
excited.
I guess so. But, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, Jack's
I mean, I could
introduced
spoiler
here.
alert it.
I kinda
nah.
wanna watch the movie.
No, we're going to go watch it next
Nah,
week.
we'll
it's
watch
cool.
it, yeah.
We're going to go. We have Movie Pass. We're going to go see this piece of shit next week.
I'll pay
It's
for
fine.
it. Screw that.
Yeah. I just don't. I guess there's no interaction that makes it seem like Christian should be jealous, which just makes
No.
Christian seem more crazy because he's just jealous over anybody that even says hello,
Yeah.
right? Because
Basically any male character in her life.
right, if they had
Yeah.
given them 3 more lines of dialogue
Then
to
it wouldn't have been
establish
so
like
weird.
flirty, being like, "Oh, you like that too?"
I mean-
even to establish that Anna might be into him just because his interests align with hers a little bit more.
Yeah.
It would have been
I
more
think
believable.
I think they should
right?
just throw in, that awkward like hand touch kind of situation.
Anything, right? Yeah.
Anything.
And then see, Christian was always watching through the window, just seeing if something would go down, and then he comes in.
That would have
But
been
no,
more believable.
right?
Yeah.
It was like, so what are you having? I'll have a whiskey. Okay, cool. Do you like Shakespeare? I love Shakespeare. Hi, I'm Christian.
Yeah.
I'm the boyfriend. Like, it was that
Yeah.
abrupt. When
Because he even said, "Oh, bring your boyfriend," so she didn't even get to
Right.
introduce him before they
no,
left.
right? He introduces himself as the boyfriend, and you're immediately like, I don't like that guy because he called him Chris. Right? Like, it's not enough.
But even she said it was weird. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you being crazy?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's normal, which it's like, now's not the time to be crazy if you're trying to get her back, bro. Like, it's not.
Literally,
like,
you've had her back for like 2 seconds.
yeah. So, this is where they show that Jack, after they leave, bites a straw, which means he's frustrated now. And, I don't know. And after this, they
It just
prepare
kind of
dinner
gets
with each other.
glummy from this point out. I'm like, what happened in the movie?
Yeah.
after
Well,
this?
I got it laid out, so I can go, and you guys
Well,
can
at
make
least one
comments if
person
you want.
does,
It's
yeah.
fine. No, I had it because I had a feeling, like, I don't know, 25 minutes in, around 25, right, where the excitement wore off that I was watching this movie, right? Because we were genuinely excited. We said it on the last episode. We're like, it's next week.
Well, I told you this, that I had watched it for 15 minutes and then I turned off because
Right.
it was that terrible.
Yeah.
So, and before I came here, I kind of skimmed through most of it because it's a rough movie to watch. It's,
Yeah.
It's bad. The dialogue is bad.
It doesn't really go anywhere, and so like I'm gonna give play-by-plays. You want to go through it?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like we're already 45 minutes into this episode.
Well, I mean, I guess.
So,
Christ.
all right. So
Oh, let's just jump to the whole ball in the
Yeah.
mouth situation.
well, okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so they basically make up, like, they're preparing dinner with each other, and she tries to like touch, like, come
Yeah,
up
this
from
is where I
behind
stopped
and touch
watching.
his chest.
This is where I stopped
right?
watching.
And he's like, you know the rules. And I was like, what rules? We didn't establish this.
Yeah.
This movie seems to forget that we watched the first movie, because, like, you're telling me out of all this time, we've never seen these cigarette scars on his chest or anything?
Oh, we saw him
No,
in
we
the
saw
last
them.
movie.
The whole
Well,
first
it
first
wasn't
movie was about
questioned,
touching.
addressed, anything.
It was there.
No, the whole
was
first movie was
lightly
about
addressed,
him saying, like, you can't touch me. That's his whole
Yeah.
boundary thing.
But I thought that was just, like, master-slave rules.
No.
Oh.
No.
That
No,
was
no,
just
no.
you.
Oh. I
No.
don't know. Master says I can't touch.
Straight people, am I right?
Whatever. I don't
Straight
know.
men, am I right?
It
That's
just,
what I meant.
it's the kind of thing that seems like it should have been established before the end of the first movie, right? And
But it
then
was.
elaborated.
It was, yeah.
No, I mean like what they're going for here.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this almost
It
feels
could
like
have
a
been
new
driven,
establishment.
Yeah, it could have been driven home a little bit harder, but it was there in the first movie. I'll say
was,
that.
yeah.
Right, but like I'm saying, in someone who has been explained, like, this world of, like, master slave and things
Yeah.
like that before, like,
Well,
the whole,
all of
like,
that gets tossed out
hey,
the window.
You're
though,
not allowed to
so-
touch me
Yeah.
because I'm the master, is what I thought from it. Instead of, like, basically, I'm weird and that's what I like and that's what I prefer,
Yeah.
so that's the rules. Instead of being like, you're not allowed to touch me because I have a, like, touch sensitive issue due to, like, past trauma.
Yeah.
That's not really what
They-
it seems to be established to me.
It comes off. It
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, hey, I don't want to. Because it came.
I mean,
off
this
to
was
me,
a movie where they were supposed to explain all of that
I
shit.
guess.
Which is why they opened with that first scene where you see the
Yeah.
whole mom situation.
I guess it just came off to me in the first movie of like, I don't like to be touched because I'm a cold-hearted, rich son of a bitch. That's what it came off to me.
Well, he
You
is,
know?
but
Right.
Yes.
But that's what it came off is like, I don't have feelings. I don't have feelings for any of my slaves. Like, and so I don't want you to touch me. I don't want you to sleep in the same bed. bed because I'm cold-hearted, and you're gonna melt my heart of ice. That's what it felt like.
So
to me.
also throughout all these scenes, every now and then we get Anastasia. She'll have like either weird glimpses of a random girl, or she has an interaction with a random girl that's like, Anastasia, and she's like, what? How do you know my name? And then she's like, watch out.
Well, Anastasia also has jealousy
Girl,
issues.
get into all the places that she gets into.
She's real crafty,
right?
I like her.
Like, okay, so we have our first sex scene because like they're like, we're gonna go slow. And you're like, no, you're not. You're not. Slow,
yeah.
Right? And this is a part where, like, she says a line that I'm like, can you just not talk anymore? Like, she goes, I'm too dressed. And I'm like, just don't talk. Just shut up. Like, just let it happen.
You
See,
can
that's
fuck with
that
clothes
is my
on.
Dakota
Jeez.
Johnson complex.
Yeah.
Because she is such an awkward person that whenever she says anything like that, like, it's not attractive at all. It's weird.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had, like, a Blake Lively type, then you're like, oh, yeah, girl. Like,
so this is also a movie, and this scene doesn't drive it home, but then the next 3 sex scenes do, is that, like, somewhere someone was paying attention to a bunch of females who critiqued the film and was like, there's no oral. Because Christian Grey eats so much pussy in this film.
The other thing is, like, I don't know.
He's down there half the film.
If you're a gay man or a woman going to see like a sexy film, I would for one love to see something other than a man ass and chest.
She never goes down on him.
But also like
Right?
I would love
that
to
goes with the
see
whole
That's
touching.
part of the fantasy.
Yeah, it's part of
the
Yeah.
most we see is like a 70s porn bush in this film.
I don't think
Which
we even
am-
saw it in this film.
No,
we
we
saw
did.
the last
We
one.
see it in this
You
one.
saw a bush?
Yeah.
I know.
I
You're
didn't see it in
zooming
my
in.
version.
It's for a glimpse. You see it. But
because
even
all
like
I saw was a belt past like half the ass crack. That's as far as I
so
got.
if Gone Girl can show
Uh-huh.
like the flaccid penis of Ben Affleck, why can't we show the dick of not even hard? It doesn't have to be hard. Why can't we show the dick of a guy that's literally done
I feel
nude
like he's
photography?
less clothed in this film than he was in the last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also like he's shown his penis before. We know what it's like.
Wait.
Well,
did I
maybe
say-
his wife
no,
said
he's less
no.
clothed in the last
Yeah.
film than this
He's
one.
more
That's
close.
what I mean.
Yeah.
well, maybe his
Yeah.
wife said no because he's married in real life.
It,
And he has a kid in
okay,
real life,
but
so
like,
maybe
your
his
dick
wife-
pics are on the internet.
Well, I'm just saying,
so-
maybe his
Maybe
wife
you shouldn't
saw
have
it.
signed on for this film then.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
But still, it's like it's
Yeah, but I'm
terribly
sure, like-
disappointing. Like I'm sure, like
I mean, look
gay
it up right
men-
now. I wonder if he's even still married right now.
Would you rather see a man ass or a man dick on film?
Depends.
I guess
Depends
yeah.
on what?
Depends. Well, I don't know because
It
like
depends on
You're
who.
like, depends. I mean, if it's a you're like,
Well, okay,
if it's
would
a
you
horror,
rather-
I don't need dick.
I mean, if it's like a dick that just has hair everywhere, I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
Ah.
it does
I mean,
depend,
the
then.
forestry has to be trimmed and very nice.
He was very ungrown, or he was very grown.
yeah.
He was.
But I mean, he had a nice
Bush.
butt. I thought
Yeah.
he has a
Okay.
nice
He's
butt.
He's a good butt.
Nice butt.
But
Nice
see, like for
butt.
me, I'm like
He also
I wanna-
worked out
I wanna
more
But I
in
feel
know
like
this
there
film.
wasn't enough
Yeah.
like sweat in this situation.
Yeah.
Like all the sex scenes
Okay.
didn't have enough sweat for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
you're a
seem-
sweat liker? I'm a fan of the sweat.
I'm just
Called
saying, like when you're
natural.
like
Yeah.
doing crazy shit,
You
like
get
you're
sweaty,
sweating.
yeah.
It wasn't crazy enough because, like I said,
really
every single
wasn't.
sex scene
Yeah.
is a quickie, so you don't have time for sex.
So my thing with
like
every
everything's like, oh, I gotta pull down my pants
Yeah.
real quick and boom. All
with
right, we're
every-
good. That's
with-
it.
With every sex scene, though, we get an introduction of an instrument, and then they use it for 10 seconds. Then it comes off, and they just have sex. Like, there's no like
Okay,
extreme thing. It's just like it
Every
happens, but then they
single
just go to
scene,
sex. It's fine.
right?
Like,
Every
it just,
single scene also seems like he's got like the tiniest stubby dick possible because
know,
like
'cause he's just doing, like,
literally like he's just like from the time he like unbuckles his pants to like insertion, there's no like fiddling or anything. He's just like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like,
and his
what?
thrusts aren't
How
really
big
big
is-
either.
What?
But his thrusts aren't big.
No.
But he does have he's got a good one.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't show.
Why
in
am I
this
like,
film.
oh yeah?
Does he?
I'm like, what's
God,
wrong
my
with me?
nipples
What's
are hard.
happening?
Yeah. But yeah, so then
This is
I don't
darker
know. Do we?
indeed.
Where
Okay,
are we? Do we jump
so-
ahead to the masquerade?
No,
I
No,
won't.
because we
Yeah.
still haven't gotten to the ball
We're
phase.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
We also haven't gotten to the hair appointment scene.
Yeah. Okay. So they wake up and she's like, I don't want this $24,000. And she rips up the check in front of him,
Came from
right?
nowhere, but
Right?
then he
So
transfers
he
it to her account.
proceeds to call his assistant and say, transfer $24,000 to her bank account, right?
And she's like, how did you get my information?
Right? And then it just cuts. This is not a playful scene. This is that's a real problem.
Yeah.
Right?
But he knows her banking information.
Right. And they don't address it in anything but a playful thing of being like, how did you get it? Like, what's it? He's like, don't worry about it. And like, so
And
she's
that's
like,
it. She
okay,
drops it.
I don't worry about it. I'd be like, you fucking creeper. Like, we got to deal with some shit here. Like, how do you have my bank account?
Wasn't this the whole file situation? Or are we ahead
No,
of
but
ourselves?
that's next.
Okay.
That's the next level of creep. Okay, like that he has an entire like entourage of people that take photos of you on the street as if it's an FBI file.
Well, I mean, like I said, if you're good looking, you have money, it's not stalking.
I guess not, right? Because like she's also not that concerned. Like she's a little bit. She's like, sex isn't gonna fix that.
Again,
in that moment.
going back to my Dakota Johnson like complication that I have with her, is
Yeah.
she's just very much like, oh, why'd you do that?
Mousy.
Because this movie's like, we want to make you strong. We want to make you weak. We want to make you strong. Like, it doesn't matter. So, okay. And this point, he's like, oh, I'm having a ball. It's for charity. My family has it every year. I'd like you to join me, right? And she's like, okay, but I'm not fixed up. He's like, let me take you to the salon. Turns out the salon is owned by Kim Basinger's character. Right?
Mrs. Robinson.
Who turns out to be Mrs. Robinson, the woman that he mentioned in the first film.
The woman
that
who fucked him
basically-
up.
Yeah, took his virginity, showed him how to be a sub to her dom, and taught him everything he knows about dominance.
She ruined him.
Right.
And then Anastasia's like, why would you
Depends.
take me there? It's stupid. Have you taken other of your girls there? And he was like,
maybe.
And she's like, yeah, you did. So then that's that whole, like, issue.
Okay,
right?
guys. All right. There are certain things, right?
You don't talk about past relationships.
Huh?
Unless you're extremely comfortable with someone.
Right.
Also, if you can't talk about a past relationship with someone that you're comfortable with now, like...
Again, this is where I go.
you're a
She
little
has
bitch.
she has jealousy issues as well. Like
Yeah.
she's
They
equally
both do.
they both
And
They're fucked up.
I say little bitch, like as a gender neutral thing. Like Jonathan's a little bitch when it comes to things all the time, like all the time, his day to day. But like,
right. I don't like to lift 35 pounds of sandbags.
but it was just such a weak move of like, you had other girls before, like shut up. Yeah, he's had a past. You know this.
There is no way.
Like you've
in the
taken
way it's
someone
filmed.
else to your favorite restaurant. What the fuck?
Right. This is where I
God,
was going to
yeah,
go.
I have, 'cause
We've
it's my
all taken
favorite.
somebody else to something where we know that we had a good, memorable time,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
that person didn't work out, but we loved the place.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
For example, I love the Cellar in Fullerton. It's themed after like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's amazing. It's romantic. It's an underground like cellar, right? I've taken 2 people there. I would not be ashamed of saying that I would take another person there
Yeah.
because it is amazing of a place. You and Christian, of all people, that probably goes to like thousands of restaurants and tries them out, knows what he likes and knows what he doesn't, knows the best place in town. If it so happens to be the person who used to be your dom, I don't know, just don't tell her. And this is what I was thinking is that it doesn't, how did she figure out that she was who she was?
It was just the way that he had kissed her on the cheek. I think it was just the way that he looked at her and the way she looked at him, and she got that
I could
vibe.
see that
Because
if
she
the
knew-
film portrayed that. It
because
didn't
she-
do a good job of making.
No, I got that vibe.
Really?
got it, yeah.
I think,
I
but
got
maybe
the
just
vibe
because I'm
the music went to a silence.
I think just because
and her
I-
face. Like,
Well, I think just because I am a girl and I have done that kind of behavior where I've seen someone that I'm
I've
with.
done
who's that hairdresser?
Where I've seen someone that I'm
No,
with
yeah.
talk to someone that they used to date, and
Well,
I just
also,
knew it was an instinct thing.
The mannerisms and also knowing that like
and
it's
she
an
also
older
looked at her.
woman-
The older woman looked at her.
Yeah. It's an older person that like you know that he's
But it's
had a
Kim
history
Basinger.
with.
She's gross.
Not
she used
gross
to be,
enough, apparently.
right?
But
okay, well,
I think it's perfectly established in this film that
So-
you know who it is.
I do have a question for you
Context
guys
clues.
because fans had expressed interest in this casting prior to this, right? And their interests that they had expressed for Mrs. Robinson is Kim Cattrall,
No.
Michelle Pfeiffer, and Charlize Theron.
I would go with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Either one of those.
I would
two
say
at
the
end.
I would show
last
Michelle
two,
Pfeiffer.
right? Like Kim Basinger looks like she's past. She's past her prime.
Yeah.
Like it's done.
She looks like she's like had work done to look like a cat.
I mean, this kind of character is Michelle Pfeiffer. I feel like,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
to a
Very-
T.
yeah.
Like,
Right?
she's very just that kind of conniving,
right?
bitchy,
And then if she came
older
out in the
lady.
Catwoman suit, I'm
Oh.
like, yes, she is
I
totally dumb.
expected, like, not to bash on the character, but I expected someone that was more
youthful looking.
Dominating.
not youthful, not dominating, but more like sleek. You
I
know,
expected
like
a more sexy presence, one that would
more
present
sexy,
jealousy.
yes.
Because
Yeah.
Not that she wasn't sexy, but I wanted more of like she didn't have it like in the eyes, I guess.
Well,
for
because
me.
there's a
Like, I
scene
wanted
later
her to
on
look
where she
like-
just shows up, like, and they're like, "Hey, this is my friend," and she looks like
Yeah.
she's been crying in the bathroom for
Yeah.
5 minutes.
I wanted her to look like a bitch. I wanted her to
It
look
wasn't-
evil, and
right.
she didn't look
This person
evil.
looked
She looked
out
soft,
to the
like-
pasture.
she looked like,
Yeah.
hey, you've been fucking with the child I molested.
Which is-
Don't do that.
which
And
is
it's like, oh,
which is
when
why
you
I
present it
feel like
that.
this film doesn't do a good job of portraying, like, if Anna's going to be jealous, you're jealous over that?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
again, this is another situation where in the book it was much more like
course.
well established and descriptive.
Right.
And there was more dialogue and there was more that happened.
But I'm sure the book also described her as probably an older cougar-looking person. I'm sorry, like,
I think- I
Kim
feel like-
Basinger, since 8 Mile, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have touched you.
Well, you have to also
Like,
remember that this character is like friends with his mom.
Yeah.
I get it,
Yeah.
but
Close
also
mom
I know some
friends.
older women that I'm still like,
Yeah.
wow, you know? And there should be some level of,
I think
like,
Charlize Theron would have been too young.
Too young, yeah.
you think
But
so?
Michelle
Yeah.
Pfeiffer, I think, could have pulled it off.
Michelle Pfeiffer. That's
She
my
could have
pick.
so good, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I imagine that, like, Michelle Pfeiffer always has that, like, sultry, like, I imagine her when she
It's
walks.
the way she walks.
She does, yeah, like that hip and, like, the body.
And the eyeshadow.
That
She's got-
body
she's
sway.
always
like,
rocking
that
that
whole, like,
eyeshadow.
you put,
Yeah.
like, your right side forward, then
I mean,
your
did you
left
guys
side,
see her in
like,
Orient
ugh.
Express? Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
She was
right.
beautiful in that
Yes.
movie, and that's the
Yes.
kind of vibe I was like really hoping that this character was, and
Sure.
didn't deliver.
Yeah.
It was just,
I mean,
it was
there isn't
very,
much
like,
to remember about Orient Express.
She just kind of looked like
Except
a
Michelle
wet,
Pfeiffer.
right.
She just looked
Yeah,
like
and
a wet.
Ray's in it.
Yeah. She looked like a wet, not wet dog, but she just kind of looked like, you know, out
looked-
to the
she
pasture,
woke up
you
from a
know.
nap.
She was like, ah, shit, I filmed today.
Right.
I got trashed last night.
So they
Like,
do
oh.
walk into the salon, and immediately it was like, oh, thank God they're taking care of those bangs.
Yeah.
But they don't. And he decides to call. This is a movie.
His
'cause-
gay friend.
Right. They walk out, and I feel like this is an entire movie of both of them just. It's
not agreeing.
It's 2 hours and 10 minutes of each other calling each other's bluffs, right? Where she's like, if you don't move, I'll carry you. And she's like, you won't carry me. And he's like, fine, I will. And he tries to pick her up, and she's like, all right, I'll walk. And you're like, that was pointless.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine. But the whole movie does that. It's like one puts an ultimatum out. The other one is like, I don't believe you. And they're like, you're right, I wouldn't. And then the movie goes on.
That's true.
Right? So yeah, in this moment, he's like, I'll carry you if you won't walk back home. And she's like, fine, let's walk home, right? They have a discussion about it, and then he calls. This is where he gets her to draw on him. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
The lipstick scene
yeah,
to draw the boundaries.
see, this is another thing. He keeps fucking up, and then like does these gigantic gestures of stupidity.
Well, I told you, he does all this stuff, and then literally she says, "You never let me touch you," and then she touches him, and then they make up. That's how they make up in every single scene. Is her touching him.
Yeah, that seems like any relationship.
He just
to
falls
be
into
honest,
this where he's like, okay,
right?
fine, I'll let you touch me because I know
Right.
you'll get back together with me. Like
Right.
that's what he does. That's why he's so toxic.
Yeah.
He does the same behavior over and
Right?
over and
you
over
never let
again.
me do anal. All right, cool. Like, and then they make up. You know, like
Gross.
no, but it's serious like that. Like where it is this just like step an inch forward, take two back, and then step an inch forward, take two back. Like that's
Like
the whole
I would,
movie.
like I would totally understand
Like a real
this,
relationship.
I would understand this whole relationship if there was more, I guess, like tension between the two of them. If there's more fight and more pull between them getting back together. Because if she resisted a little bit, but then just kind of finally gave in, that would be more believable. But literally,
Yeah.
it's like 1 second into him doing whatever, and then she falls back into him. I'm like, that's not. Like,
because in order to exacerbate the female fantasy that's going on here, you need to make it like I'm a strong, empowered female, right? And I made him change something that I wanted him to change about, and then I'll take you back. Like it's this ultimatum thing, and if anything, they're both playing that game throughout the whole thing, and I think it's that kind of tease and that thing that keeps the people even invested in this. Like I think she should females watching this.
I think she should have had him work for it harder.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
because for me as a female watching this, like I want him to work. I wanted to, like, I don't know, I wanted her to take control, I guess, of the situation.
Oh, you didn't think a bouquet of flowers at the beginning of the movie was enough? Like, it's enough.
No, I don't. I want her to control the situation. I don't want him to.
Okay. So then he calls his gay friend, I guess, I don't know,
who doesn't fix her hair.
Right? Yeah.
No, nothing happens except he puts it up.
No,
let me put it in a braid and wrap that shit around your head.
Oh God,
lazy.
It's the worst, right?
And then she's getting ready, and he's like, "By the way, let me shove these balls in your vagina."
Also, like, as a straight male,
Sorry.
What?
So, they're called Benoit balls. Anyway.
Oh, wait, they're the ones that you spin around and play with, right?
They're the David
These
Bowie
are vaginal
balls.
beads he's talking about.
Yeah, because they have a little string attached to them.
But, so, he holds them up, and she's like, "You can't put that in my butt." And I was like, oh, the times I've said that. But I've been wrong. And
has he ever, like, we haven't established that he's ever tried to put anything in her butt.
Yeah.
So, like, why?
Except for the butt plug comment from the first movie.
Oh, that's right.
But then he's like, put them in your mouth to lube them up. I'm like, that's the worst.
And like the way he says it
right?
is so slow and just so
put
awkward.
But also, he
your
already
mouth.
owns this. That means, like, they've been in somebody else.
I was just going to say that. I'm like, all of these toys, he's used them on like 15 other people.
Right.
That's disgusting.
I
I don't
mean,
care how many times you
I get
sanitize
it,
them. Like,
yeah.
you got to reorder some stuff.
I'm
Well,
sure
clean
in
is
this community
clean.
there's a lot of sterilization going
this
on,
is
but
like
still.
this is like the goodwill of used sex toys.
Right.
I don't want that.
Right. You wouldn't use somebody else's dildo.
But
Like, you're not going on Amazon being like, use dildo, click, and purchase.
To be
like,
fair,
one click purchase, thank you.
he's very rich.
Can I get
so
Amazon now?
He could have bought all of these
He could have
things
bought new
sooner.
stuff. I'm just saying.
So-
Yeah, but one scene maybe in the first one of being like, did you use this on other girls? They're like, no, they're fresh for you. Like, that's it. Like,
That would have been
fine. Right? With a little Amazon smiley face box. Like,
So-
I just got this one.
He takes these balls, put them in Anastasia's mouth. They're not
Mm-hmm.
his balls, but they are his balls. They're metal balls.
Yeah.
She sucks on them for 0.5, doesn't actually get spit on them, and then he's like, boop, boop, and they go right into her vag.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do they do? And he's like, give it time.
Right.
And then she like,
Which is never really explained properly.
yeah.
Right? Because she's
Throughout
like,
the party,
I'm
she's
starting
like,
to feel
I
like what
sat
these
down
do, right?
and I
And she's like, I'm
orgasmed.
hungry. I'm like, hungry for food or hungry for cock? Like, what is it? Like, I don't get it in this
Yeah.
moment. I don't really know what they do to this day.
So-
and this is the problem with this movie, the last movie, and probably the movie after it, of being like,
They rub together. They rub together and create a sensation.
Guess what?
And that's all about it. But we don't know that.
right. You explaining it to me is the first time that I'm hearing this, right?
Oh, you should
this
talk
is a
to Dave
film.
more.
What? Here's the problem: is that this film is supposed to be getting us into this community, into this lifestyle, and does the worst fucking job.
Well, that's because
of
it doesn't
ever
know what
explaining
community
it.
it wants to be in.
Right. You're right.
And they shoot that in the foot halfway through the film.
Yeah.
So then we go to this party. We find out it's a masquerade. They're all wearing masks, and you find out the mom's there, and it's taking place at Christian's like family house, and
Right.
he's got his own bedroom there. So they sit down for 5 seconds at this party. Then they go upstairs because she can't handle these Benoit balls in her vagina because it's so much. Oh.
But from
And
what?
then-
Like laughter?
Yeah, she laughed.
Or what?
Like,
Because
she
she laughed in the
laughed
first scene, and she's
and
like,
was like,
oh, right?
And then she sits down and she's like, "Oh God, sitting makes me wet." Like,
Something.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
He
lady.
goes, "Are you feeling it yet?" or something, and she's
like,
like, "Yeah, I'm hungry." Right, and that's why I was like, "What for cock?
Hungry.
Like, what's happening?" Like, and
he's
then
like, did he give her an edible or shove balls in her vagina? What happened?
and I'm feeling like, so they go up into like a bedroom and they have another sex scene.
Yeah.
But I thought this was them at home. I thought the party was over
No,
it seemed like the party
they
was
went
over.
to his childhood
right?
bedroom. What?
Right?
And then they do it. She finds a picture of his mom, and he's like, "Don't ever touch that again."
Yeah, right.
And
which
she
is
looks-
also
And she's like,
next
"She
to a
looks
UFC
like
poster,
me."
which they
Yeah.
actually trivia said that they put the UFC poster in his bedroom to make him seem more masculine because people complained that he
They
wasn't
also
masculine enough.
they also had a Chronicle of Riddick poster in his room, which I was like, who loved that movie enough to buy a poster?
Okay,
and
so Christian
frame
doesn't
it?
seem douchey enough to love UFC, right?
But he's also douchey
or
enough
stupid enough to love
yeah.
you.
Yeah, but his
Or
whole
Riddick.
but his whole dominance thing is a whole thing.
Also,
like
like the
UFC,
Last
though.
Witch Hunter.
Yeah. Right? The Last Witch Hunter.
I also listen to Bombs Away. I love it.
Rough self-cut. So then, like, he's like, I'm going to go downstairs. And she's like, I'll meet you down there soon. And I thought she was going to, like, steal the photo. But instead, she just keeps getting ready. I was like,
Yeah, I
"Alright,
thought she was
cool."
going to investigate more about his past.
I
Like,
would've.
this would have been the time,
Right? I
right?
would have snooped in those drawers and found all his weird, creepy shit, like a diary that I wrote in 3 times and then forgot about. Everyone has
Or maybe like a diary
like
just
that.
explains his whole issue.
Yeah.
I had a blog. I went 3 in and was like,
You
we're
had a
good here.
Zanga?
The blog actually
His
became
Angel
this
Fire.
show
Yeah.
eventually, like from 10 years ago.
So she goes back downstairs and she's like, "Ooh, by the way, gotta pee." She goes into the bathroom and this is when she runs into.
Yeah, we forgot to hold the whole pan to the guy looking at the family
There's
photos.
a guy in a masquerade
mask.
mask.
Oh, that is
And
yeah.
he takes
when she's coming
a
down
photo with his phone
of their
of-
family.
of Christian Gray's
And
family.
you 10,000% know who it is.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
You're like, oh, that's the
but
knockoff.
also, it's like,
That's
how did you
Anastasia's
get
boss.
in?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure this family
well, apparently
has,
we'll
like,
find out in the
invitations.
third movie.
Well, I mean, we didn't even talk about his name to begin with. The fact that his name is Jack Hyde.
Okay, what is it? What?
Jackal and Hyde.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Ew, I hate stupid
You know,
literary...
James, go fuck
Ugh.
yourself. Like we're done here. Podcast
Jack
done.
Hyde.
Like that's it. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's as bad as next week we're gonna do.
Look, I can't remember what the name of Taylor. Taylor has a really bad last name too. That's
Taylor?
also
Lautner?
Who's
yeah.
Taylor?
Taylor is his
Lautner.
bodyguard.
Oh, Taylor the
He
bodyguard.
also
I
has
heard
a
a movie about
weird
Taylor.
name in the
Shit.
book that you're like, this is a dumb name,
Yeah.
and I get it why they just call him Taylor and not by his last name.
Taylor
Gorbachev. His last name is
Lautner.
Gorbachev. Yeah,
okay.
so she goes downstairs. Someone takes a photo of it. You're like, creepy, weird, but we all know that that's her boss. And then she goes to the bathroom and she runs into I can't remember her
Mrs.
name.
Robinson.
Yeah, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah.
Mrs. Robinson is like, "You'll never be enough. You're not good enough. He won't settle for you. You're shit." And she's like,
Fuck you.
"Fuck you." Is like
Yeah.
all she can manage is like, "Yeah, I hate you," and walks away because she's not strong. She is physically like, I'm all for empowerment. I love
But
that
it's not
shit.
there.
But
It's not
she
there.
just she could have said some really good things, but she just goes, "Fuck you," and walks away.
Right?
And it's like, dude,
Mrs.
own
Robinson did a
yourself.
whole monologue about how you're shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the worst rap battle ever.
I know. Real.
His
So
arms
then-
are sweaty. Mom's
Yeah.
lasagna. Like
Spaghetti. I don't know. So she
I
walks
can't
out
rhyme.
of the bathroom. Christian is like, "We know."
Yeah, tune in next week. I can't rhyme at all.
Rhyming is going to be real great next
so-
week. So she walks out of the bathroom and Christian's like, "You ready to leave soon?" And she's like, "I'm ready to leave
How about
now?"
now?
And he looks back and sees Mrs. Robinson and is like, "Sup?" And then walks
Right?
away.
And like and it like comes out of the bathroom and is like, "Oh, I forgot my stick
Yeah,
mask."
she puts
Like
the-
who brings stick masks? Like that's your arms got to get real
yeah.
tired at the masquerade to bring stick masks. Like why not just
I mean, that's stuff you get at the dollar store.
right?
right? Guys got a stick mask. Am I good?
My friends and I had a masquerade in high school.
Masquerade.
I thought
Sorry.
I want to go to
Nice
like
Phantom.
a legitimate one, but we all bought our own masks and we all painted them ourselves, and it's the coolest thing. I think masquerades should be done more. They're
Masquerade,
so
masquerade.
cool. Is this a Phantom reference?
Yeah.
Okay. 'cause
Masquerade.
I got to the letter song in Phantom.
Painted
the
faces
Opera.
on parade.
Masquerade.
I got to like, you got a letter, I got a letter, we got a letter, hey, 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 and then I shut the movie off.
That's Little Rascals.
No, I know it's a little, but no, in Phantom of the Opera, they're all talking about a letter they
Masquerade's
got.
like the best scene.
Okay, well, I got to
It
the
is pretty
scene where they
good.
kept singing
Pretty
about a
good.
'Cause then
letter
the
they
devil
got,
part
and I
comes
shut
after
it
that.
off.
Yeah.
I was like, this is boring.
We
Oh,
should- we
wait,
should-
which one did you watch?
The movie one.
Sorry, tangent here, but like which? Wait, the one with the girl from
Gerard
Shameless.
Gerard Butler one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's badass.
That's I don't know. I got to the scene where
I
like,
actually really
I got
love
a
that
letter.
movie.
I
You
do
got
too.
a
I
letter.
do too.
Whoa,
Despite
whoa,
the continuity
letter.
errors.
Right.
Like it. I just got bored. It was too long.
What you got a letter? I got a. What are you talking about?
There is a letter song. They get like notes or something. They get like ransom notes, and they're singing about them.
I don't remember that.
That's like the opening thing where they're like the Phantom
It
sent
was
another letter saying shut down the shit.
Stupid.
Right? Basically, it's like in My Bloody Valentine being like shut down the dance. Okay? Like,
Yeah. Well.
holy shit! My Bloody Valentine is Phantom of the Opera.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll figure that one out later.
Anyway, where were we?
Anyway, okay. So they leave, right? And then after that, now,
Is it her back at work?
yeah, well, okay.
Oh.
They go back to his place, right? And then they see her car has been vandalized.
Oh, and he takes her to the boat.
Right.
He's like,
and
secret
she's
hideout,
like,
boat hideout.
yeah, she's like, why can't
Yeah.
we just go upstairs to your place? And he's like, well, if she could break into the garage, she could break into the place, right?
Yeah.
So instead, let's go to my unsecure sailboat.
With one man being like, I've been here for 18 years.
Meanwhile,
And then
if
he
it
walks
is
up.
who he thinks it is, which is his crazy stalker ex, pretty sure if you're doing the same things, like, I don't know, taking your new girlfriend to the salon that you brought all your other slaves, pretty sure you also brought her to the goddamn sailboat. Like, it doesn't, it makes no sense.
I mean, that's the thing about her, though. She picks and chooses what stuff offends
Right.
her.
And the problem with it is that, like, he's only taking his excuse for taking her to certain things is just so that we can have this like women's fantasy of like a sailboat thing, because we've already got the helicopter,
That was already
and then we've got
established.
the sailing plane as well in the last movie. So what now? Oh, we got to do a sailboat, you know?
Every cliche trope you can possibly think of is in this movie
Yeah,
series.
I've driven you across the country. I've done a sailboat. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all there. Because there's no, you wouldn't spend the night there, right? So then they get in the shower, and you realize that he didn't wash the lipstick off? No, didn't wash the lipstick off from the whole boundaries thing, right? Still has the lipstick.
I mean,
and
that's
then,
a long stained lipstick. I want
Right?
to know where you can buy that.
And she's like, "Can I scrub it off you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they do this whole wash off of the lipstick, right? Meanwhile, one of two times I think he gets naked. So then after that, they actually do go back to his apartment, which then she's introduced to Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones is the housekeeper, right? Now, Mrs. Jones, he mentioned earlier that Elena, I think is her name, is the stalker ex, right?
Yes.
Now, Elena, apparently, while they were in Georgia in the first movie, went to Christian's place and tried to slit her wrist in front of Mrs. Jones, which is, like, very anticlimactic. Like, if you're gonna do it, like, hey, are you in any way connected to Christian? Yeah.
Slit my wrist.
Right? I am Christian's car washer. Okay, I'll slit my wrist in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense that he's
Why
like,
she would pick her.
right, he's like, yeah, Elena went and while we were in Georgia, just slit her wrist in front of Mrs. Jones, my housekeeper, right? And you're just
also,
like, I don't care. Like,
I also think like Mrs. Jones is the only woman that Christian hasn't like fucked.
right?
Because she looks like a legitimate maid. Like, she just is a maid,
Well,
and she does her
also she's
maid
blonde.
thing.
She's kind of momish.
Momish,
Right?
yeah.
And blonde.
Yeah, right, blonde.
The
Yeah,
main thing
he's got a
is, like,
point.
She's
He's got
blonde,
a point.
so he wouldn't sleep with her.
So, he introduces it to her, and I'm thinking,
Well, she introduces herself.
right,
She's
yeah,
like,
but
hi, I'm this person. You've never met me before. Neither has anyone else.
here's this weird thing: is that like you'd think because you, like you said, nor is anyone else. We haven't met her in the last movie.
Yeah.
You'd think because he mentioned Mrs. Jones and she slit her wrist in front of her, you'd think that this is where now introducing Mrs. Jones that like, oh no, like Mrs. Jones is going to wind up mistakenly like basically putting Christian in a lie.
Well,
Being
also,
like,
this is
being
the-
like, no, she didn't slit. I never
Yeah.
heard of her slitting her wrist.
What?
You know, right? Like
I
something,
didn't-
right? And
Yeah.
make Christian a liar. You know, something like that never comes into play. You're like, so why is this person even in here?
Yeah.
The only reason that she's in here is so that Anna can go into the red room the next scene, right? And then they have this like What's this? What's this? Like it's like
everywhere.
right? What's this? What's this? There's whippings everywhere.
Well, this is whenever
what's this?
she's
There's
like,
chains up in the air.
she's like, what is
I'm
this
t-
thing? And he's like, it's a nipple clamp. She's like, ow.
You
And
know
then-
that thing that was in the contract that you said no to?
Right? And then she's like, what's this? And he's like, you need to learn how to walk before you learn how to run. And then she's like, I'm ready to jog. And then he like takes it out, and it's
I'm
literally
ready to
just like,
sprint, bitch.
right? But it's only like, all it is like a device that keeps your legs spread.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. That makes me do
I mean, that
less
sounds
work.
more like a device that you'd use when you're birthing a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And-
also, like,
Or like
maybe
getting a
I'm
pap
too
smear.
maybe
So-
I'm too lazy to keep my legs open myself. This helps. Jeez.
So he carries her out, and they walk past Mrs. Jones, and Mrs. Jones has this look like somebody's getting fucked tonight. Like it is so like it's like she's so used to it. She's just like, oh, really?
It's
This
a
is
total
happening
like
again.
It's a total like, get it, girl.
Yeah.
And then she goes
Somebody
and gets
getting
it.
fucked tonight. Somebody
then-
getting
Yeah,
fucked.
he puts it
Like,
on her, like he opens it up, and she's like, oh, and then like they
Meanwhile,
do it,
they
and it's
do
done.
do it
Yeah.
with her in the house.
And I'm not saying it's a bad device.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was into
But I
voyeurism
am saying, like,
too.
if you're like rich and have money, maybe hit a brother up.
Okay.
Don't shake your head, Abby. You would too.
Okay, so then we are carried over to like Anna has been asked by her boss to go on a New York trip,
You can't go.
right? Christian is like, well, you can't go, right? There's no like discussion.
And they're like texting, he's in a meeting.
Right. And then there is like basically they have a discussion of being like, well, why don't you like stay with me at my New York place? And she's like, you have a New York place? And of course you do. Like, right? Because he already has a like
he
Denver
has
place and like he has
multiple
a,
properties.
yeah, like why is she surprised at this point?
Also, I thought on the boat scene
Mhm.
that I thought he was going to be like, that's my house.
Well, that house,
10,000%. I thought he was going to be like, it's an old lady and she lives there. And she's like, oh, no, that's a lie. And then he'd be like, you're right, it's my place. Let's go fuck there for 5 days. By the way, get back to reality after that. Like, I thought it was going to be a cutscene
Yeah.
of them boning in a house.
No, that
But
house
is that
is
actually
clearly the
from
house from the
Twilight?
trailer.
Oh.
No, I mean like in 50 Shades Freed, that's the house they buy, guaranteed.
Oh,
Guaranteed.
Don't spoil it for me.
I'm not spoiling it. I'm speculating.
He
I can't
ruins
spoil
everything.
it. I can't spoil something we haven't seen yet.
I'm
I'm just speculating, right? They're
The
in
movie's
like
not even out. Don't spoil it.
the trailer spoiled it at the end of the
Jonathan,
film.
Stop spoiling anything. I'm kidding. I just love making people mad.
So after this, she has to go to Jack and be like, Jack, I'm sorry. Like,
And this is where it just escalates so quickly.
yeah.
It
He's like, you can't go to New York. It's time to penetrate.
So,
he's
hold
like,
on.
like
This scene-
I thought I was gonna have New York, but now I guess I just got to do it right here.
So this scene, it starts out, Jack is like obviously perturbed. He's so upset, and she's like, she picks up her phone and looks at it right when Jack is coming in, and he goes, no personal calls on the job. I'm like,
Which
oh,
apparently
shit.
there's
Okay.
and you might be able to confirm this in the book, is there's a whole subplot of her using company emails to message Christian
Oh,
back
yeah.
and forth.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like there's something cut out of there.
Yeah,
that,
there's
like,
a lot of information that you need to know because, yeah, they're talking. She's not working, basically,
Right.
in the entire book.
because it doesn't seem like she's working in this movie.
Yeah.
She's never there.
She's in Seattle. Like it's not happening.
I mean,
Like,
honestly, I want to know how much vacation time she has because, I mean, she's never at the
Jealous.
office.
well, it'd be one thing if they were like every weekend this happened.
No.
but no, it seems like this is her life.
Yeah.
Right? The thing that he wants her to do that she doesn't want to do, which is basically be a homebody and he'll take care of her, seems like which is happening.
I'm sorry. I would love to not do anything and sit at a hot man's
we
home.
already do nothing.
But I mean,
There-
Jack.
Yeah, but
Naps
we
are
have
our
to
everyday
clock
life.
in,
But I mean,
so
Jack
it's
says
fine.
to her, you know, this is the opportunity that you've been like waiting for, and she's like, "But I can't." But it's like, okay, bitch, you want to be this
Yeah.
whole like power woman doing her own editing
Because
shit.
he's
and-
not even
Yeah.
like it's subtly hinted
Like,
being like the opportunity
literally
also is
every-
on this dick.
Yeah.
Every
But
opportunity is just handed to her, and it irritates me so much.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Everything. It's just handed to her. And she's like, oh my God, how'd I get this? And it's like, you know how you got it, bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
And the only time the movie wants to doubt this is the next time, like when she gets his job later.
Yeah.
So
Is that she actually questions being like, did you have anything to do with this? Because I'm over here as an audience being like, he had something to do with this, right?
Well-
because he's manipulating every single part of her life.
yeah, so she goes into his office and she's like, "Hey, listen, New York probably isn't a thing." And he's like, "Oh, you need your boyfriend's permission, blah blah blah."
And it's like, yeah.
Prior to that
I
scene,
mean-
she texted Christian and was like, "Be out in 2 minutes, BT dub." And then she goes in there and she's like, "Can't do this, sorry. Like, I want to." And he's like, "Well, you're not taking your job, like, seriously." And she's like, "What are you talking about? Like, I'm doing everything I can." And then he's like, "You're not doing everyone you
Everything.
can."
Yeah, out of nowhere. Like, what?
Penis.
I kind of caught on to it a little bit.
But
But
the
I mean-
last
but
scene that we
still,
saw
yeah.
But I mean, this is
was,
literally.
hi, I'm Christian. Hi, I'm Jack. All right, fuck you.
Yeah,
Bye.
But because of the stalker scene in the house, I was
Yes.
like, "Oh, he's a bit creep."
But,
in,
yeah, but
in the
this-
book, is he
but-
worse?
But the
book,
mask
he's-
is on him, so
See?
like we're
Hold
not.
on,
In the book, like, you very much understand this whole trajectory
We're
of where
so
he's
into
because
going.
this.
he's the Taylor Lautner character.
He is the Taylor Lautner character.
Sure.
He's the side object that like she's not
But
getting
no, really,
into, but
well, no, Jose is
No, but
is a
Taylor
Lautner.
Lautner,
Oh, yeah.
she's into him.
She's into him.
Yeah.
Which is Jose,
In
her
this,
best friend.
in this, she's not into
Yeah.
Jack.
No.
But okay, so Jack is like, and he literally like pins her against the wall. I was like, oh shit.
And then
like,
he says, "What do you think I'm gonna make you fuck me?" And
I know. I
Would you
got
fuck me?
so
I'd fuck me.
Yeah, but I got so scared for her. Like I legitimately
And then-
was like, no, no,
wait, you guys,
no, no,
wait,
no.
you guys. And then he says, "I can make you come like nobody else."
Well, okay.
I
This
know,
is
and
this
I
is
was
a
like,
movie that is
listen.
like 6 months ahead of its time, by the way, right? Because this is every girl's dream
I mean, this is a-
now in
this-
the Me Too society.
I mean, this is a train wreck of
and at least
a
one
porno.
gay man, me.
You're like, I would love to nail
Yeah.
a guy in the balls.
Oh, that part.
Oh,
Oh, I
what
would
part
love
were you
to nail a
saying?
guy. That's all I was going
Oh,
for.
you're like, would you
But-
fuck me? I would.
But I mean,
So-
that scene totally felt like a rip out of a porno. Like they just took the dialogue of a porno and then
Yeah.
put it into like this giant.
But then also
blockbuster
made
movie.
her
But
not
then, yeah, but
sleep
then,
with him.
yeah, then made the part of the porno not play out like it should.
Yeah. But the whole thing, I don't know. Like I,
What's it? What's that? I hate to mention him now because people are like, oh, you mentioned it. But Aziz's joke about like reallifedickparty.com, where it's like, hey, you guys want to go have a dick party? And they're like, no. And they're like, all right, cool. Reallifedickparty.com. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Like the realism of porn. Like
Yeah.
that would be this, where it's like, would you fuck me? Like, you know, and then she's like, no, and nags me in the balls. End of porn.
well, like it's also it's that terrifying that like I'm never afraid of it because when am I gonna sleep with my female manager? Never.
Well, at
but
what
at the same
point-
time, like that's legitimately terrifying. If someone put their hands on both sides of me, and it
Well,
no,
he
that part
never-
has happened before.
Well, the thing in the movie too is they never established
you?
him kind of like they never
You want to
established.
talk about it?
I don't care. I mean, I've never really told anyone, but I was hooking up with a guy once, and I was like, I should leave. And he's like, okay. And as he's walking me out, he like puts both of his hands on either side of me. And
It has like
you
20
don't-
locks. Like,
Yeah, well, he was like, you don't have to leave. And I was like, oh, I think I should. And then he like forced himself on me to like make out. And I was like, no, I really think I should. And he was like,
So
fine.
he
like,
did Aziz you.
Oh, like, it
it's
was
the same thing.
No, it was scary.
Like, we can just talk over here if you want me to
obviously-
just talk right over here.
like,
it's
obviously-
okay. It's all cool.
It was a better experience than other people that had like have had sexual assault experiences.
Sure.
But like,
Well, because you're a man on
Yeah.
a man.
oh, but don't let that like discount anything. Anyone can be sexually assaulted. But at the
No,
same
no,
time,
you're
like,
right. I have been.
like. It's been very close, but like that's how I knew. I was like, oh, this is like for me, it was legitimately like, oh shit, because if
Yeah.
someone puts both of their hands on both sides of you and your hands are down,
But like
you
his
don't have any good way to like fight back against that.
But his behavior just came out of nowhere because
Oh,
we
it did
never
come out of
established
nowhere.
Because
we
there
never
was an
s-
hour
Yeah.
and 15 minutes prior
Yeah.
to seeing him. That's
because
why.
they never established that he had any sort of interest in her other
Not
than
really.
Oh,
he
yeah.
didn't like touch her. He didn't at work or like they didn't flirt
like
at
he
work.
made like
He wasn't,
snide
like, sitting on her
comments,
desk.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It just escalates so quickly, and you're like, "What the fuck is
Well,
happening?"
that's like it's like that's the problem whenever you go from
It's time to go to hide. Like,
but if you
it's time to
go
go to Rape Town.
if you go from page to screen, it's that hard thing. It's like, how do you put in those subtle notes
Those subtle
to get
details,
you to
yeah.
it?
I don't
Or do you just
know.
like put in like
Every-
one or three? Like
Every
they could have
other
done
book
more.
movie,
Yeah.
it like when they've needed to portray something properly, have been like, I guess this is going to be a part 2.
Well, you never watched Harry
Right?
Potter then.
What do you mean?
They didn't do a good job in Harry Potter.
I think they did a really good job of portraying things in Harry
Well,
Potter
tell
like
that
properly.
to some of my friends.
Well,
Jeez.
yeah, there's some people. Yeah, but like we're talking about clear things that are just missing. Like when I
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
Harry Potter movies, I don't feel like it's disjointed.
Yeah.
I feel like things, the main core elements are properly explained. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel lost. Okay, here it's
You're-
like,
it's-
hi, I'm
it comes
Jack.
out of left
I'm a
field.
nice boss. Like that, just
But
likes
I
a
want
girl.
to fuck you, and I
Right?
can make you come. And you're like, this is aggressive language, and I feel very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And give us one more scene between the hour and 15 that
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
on screen.
You know what the worst part about that guy was?
What?
He was a
He's not in anything else recognizable.
Oh no, I was talking about the guy that
He's
like
not
put both his
Alexander
arms around
Skarsgård.
me. The guy that like could
Oh,
have
that
potentially
guy.
like done shit
Sure.
to me. He was a what's that degree?
Well, 7 degrees. He was Kevin Bacon.
No. He was going. He was like in his final semester of a I don't want to say a women's rights degree because that's wrong. A
Women's studies?
Yes, he was like a semester away from women's studies degree, and I was like, you of all people, like terrifying.
Okay.
A women's studies major.
That's how it always is.
I know.
That's the icing on the cake when it comes to like if you were writing a novel.
I was like-
that's it.
I was like, this
Right?
is rich. And then
The
I dropped him off at a
irony
7-Eleven
is
so
really
he could
good.
buy cigarettes.
Ew.
Yeah.
Even I say ew now.
I
I
know.
quit. I
was
don't like ew.
I'm so proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
I just want to say that on there.
Um,
Yeah, so then she knees him in the ball. He has one. That's a different story about my past, too. There was a guy that once...
Well, the other ones are upper veg.
Yeah. Ew. So she knees him in the ball.
Sorry
She
for
pumps him in the
saying
face.
not
She
vagina.
runs out, and Christian's like, what happened? And she's like... And then Taylor
Christian's
goes
about
inside.
to
Yeah.
fight him, and he's like, I'm going to go in there. She's like, I need you. And
Oh.
Taylor goes up there. Why can't I see this scene? I
Yeah,
want to see this
I
scene.
wanted this
I want to see
scene.
it's like, sorry, I'm here for like Anna's purse and stuff.
I would have been so...
heard that you tried to, you want to make her come. Like, I don't know.
If
like-
Christian went up there, I would have been like, maybe we let it play out and we watch how the scenes go.
Right? Right?
Even though he's off-brand Skarsgård, still would have been real good.
I just, like,
Let them
this
fight,
is, I want,
punch each other. Take
I
each
wanted to
other's
see
shirts
something.
off.
That's the problem is this.
Yeah, they
this,
left their underwear on.
This movie continually gets like at the top of a roller
blue
coaster,
balls us.
but never. Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Constant blue balling.
Good call. Blue balls. Yeah, you're absolutely
Good
right.
call, blue ball.
Right?
It's
Because
just,
at least-
it's just them being lazy and not focusing on other characters.
Well, at least give me Taylor's interaction and being like, yeah, so
Because in the book, there's
that
a
was
lot
weird,
more about
right?
Taylor. Like, she has scenes with Taylor. Like, we
Right?
hear him talk and, like...
Oh,
And
last
Taylor
episode,
probably
we were
explains
totally-
Christian more and
yes,
stuff like that, right?
he does. He
Yeah.
explains his
Yeah,
behavior. And
I'm
then,
sure.
like, these movies, we get nothing from him. And it's like,
Right?
what the fuck? Like,
I just want to see where he's like, yeah, have you have you seen her purse? Like,
Well, it's
like, yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna. It's not my deal, bro. I
Last
I just
movie-
need a purse. I just need her phone. Like, and good luck with your job. It's just-
Well, last movie we talked about, like, we want a movie that is just Taylor.
That's
like all the
right.
shit that he has experienced. Like what?
That would be interesting.
He's been a fly on the wall for so long to where he's probably like, oh, this one isn't gonna last because I
oh my
can
god!
see
Well,
those
they started
hips.
writing
Like,
gray and
oh
darker.
my
right?
god, I just thought of something.
Oh my
what
God.
if Taylor and Mrs. Jones are, like, together?
Oh,
That would make a really good
I would
movie.
rather
Guys.
love it if Taylor was with Gray's mom.
No.
And that was a
Okay,
side
so
story.
I
Ooh,
just,
that'd be
I,
sexy.
you know how they're writing like basically 50 Shades Gray of Gray.
Oh, you said Miss
with,
Jones? I thought you
Miss
said
Jones.
Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah.
No,
Miss Jones. I would
Jones.
love that.
Because
Yeah.
they both are just flies on the wall in Christian's life.
And then, like, you hear what they tried?
Mrs.
Yeah, it's
Jones.
really sucky. Let's just make out and, like, finger bang. Great.
Hey,
like,
so
their
I saw-
life is so plain.
I saw
I
them
would love
bring
it.
these like nipple cuffs. I'm not into that. You just want to bang? Like just real
And
simple.
she's like, go balls deep, but
like,
don't say anything.
It describes the things that he brings home, and it's like, I'm not into that. It just goes vanilla.
And she's like,
50 Shades of Taylor.
Today I saw a pole that spreads her legs, and he's like, oh, that's weird. And she's like, yeah. You want to take off my underwear and just stick it right in? And he's like,
right?
Okay.
I'm still clothed.
I'm still clothed. And he's like,
okay.
Well, take them off. Jeez.
So, right after that, Christian calls in a favor to the boss of the publishing company and gets
CEO.
Jack fired.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jack's boss is boss. You know, right?
Boss is boss is boss.
No, that would be Christian soon.
Yeah. Well,
right?
It's a stupid scene.
I feel like there'd be an HR investigation. It wouldn't be just so
Well,
abrupt.
they paint it.
Well, they say that Jack left.
They
He
paint it as a
resigned.
resign. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the last we hear of that. It's like,
Right.
Okay.
I guess
cool.
that's how it would go. That's how Harvey went. Kind of like so.
Oh.
You know.
real.
Right.
John
Too real.
Lasseter. Bye.
Right.
We all
I
knew
just-
it was weird
I need
that you
some
love
time
cars.
off. Right. Why did you love Cars so much? Cars
know.
is the worst.
Yeah.
But you guys remember, he was just an intense hugger.
Super
Ooh,
hugger. You ever been super hugged? Come on, guys. Come on. You ever been super hugged?
I got super hugged, and I felt something more.
Right. I was super hugged by Kevin Spacey once. Did I tell you that? For reals.
I wish.
No, for reals.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was odd even back then.
When did
I
that
think
happen?
I could talk about it because fuck him.
When
Right?
did that happen?
Before I knew you guys, back in like 2012, I was working at a nightclub. Another side tangent. Hello, audience.
Go for it. This episode's all about sexual assault.
Yeah, it kind of is. So,
And having a straight man describe sexual assault is actually
I
good.
I mean,
It opens
it
eyes.
felt weird.
Yeah.
Okay, that's as far as it goes. That's all
Yeah.
I got. But it felt weird. He was filming some sort of kind of like inside the actor's studio, but like where like he sat around a dinner table with like some other director I didn't know, and like maybe two aspiring directors or something like that, and talked shop, talked film, talked things like that. Right. My job, because I was the production manager of the nightclub that they were filming in, was just to light the stage and have like make sure that the all around nightclub, because the owner was obsessed with the nightclub had carpet. So
Ew.
yeah, it always smelled like mildew. So he was obsessed with making sure that mildew smell didn't happen. So he was like always like, get vanilla candles. I would like
Get some
constantly.
Febreze.
Yeah, constantly.
Don't clean
right.
your carpet.
So that was my two jobs: make sure it didn't smell like ass, and also light the stage. Right. And I remember afterwards, Kevin Spacey came around and thanked each one of us individually that like owned the club. And I just remember a longer hug than I expected. Like that's all. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's kind of
I
innocent.
felt a finger in my butthole, but I wasn't opposed.
But it was a long like for like me who I'd been around a couple celebrities because of this nightclub. It was up in Hollywood, but also at the same time, I was used to just. I mean, what is it? Chris Pena, I think his name is. The guy who's Ant-Man's friend in Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Hung around with me for like 3 hours talking my ear off. I think he was on coke. I don't know.
Yeah,
but like
fair.
one night just like talked and I'm like, you don't know me. Like, why do you care to talk to me? Just kept talking. So I was so used to insane celebrity things at this point already that like when Kevin Spacey is like, I'm just gonna keep this hug going for longer. I'm like, all right, like because I knew him at this point, like, and from movies wise, like it's not like it was a new Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
It's like we know you, Kevin Spacey, like, and this person that I know from the screen is hugging me longer than I expected.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I was like, we can let go now, like. You'll never see me again, kind of thing. Maybe.
Please drop it.
He's right here in the studio, folks.
He's killing us.
And that's it. But like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it sexual assault.
Yeah.
But I would like everybody kind of knew the stories about him ahead of time.
Yeah.
Right. Like
well, it's those Hollywood things. We know what's happening, but we don't really talk about it because we're like, it's Hollywood.
Before you even came, like a week,
it under the rug.
Yeah, before a week prior to that, we had all heard the stories about London and basically like a men's rest stop, like Kevin Spacey in London walking his dog, right? That was a thing, and then we had all heard that like he's closeted gay, like that was a thing. Like, it's just nobody talked about it.
I mean, I'm a little bit of an idiot, so I legitimately didn't
Really?
know. And when he did come out, I was like, Daddy!
I felt
I
like
felt
it was
really bad about
like
myself. So I was like, ooh, never mind.
obvious.
Back
I felt
up,
like it was
back up.
obvious
Yeah.
to me. I was like, yeah,
Well,
duh.
I grew up in Missouri, so
I guess so.
didn't
I kind
have
of feel like
the
Kevin Spacey
springs.
just didn't have any genitals. Like he didn't like guys or girls, just asexual.
Ooh, like a Ken doll.
Nice.
Real blank.
All right, so
are
our
we? The start
sexual
of the
assault
movie?
rant
Yeah.
is done. Okay, he got Jack fired, and then after that, like I
movie
said,
keeps
Anna
going. I don't
gets
know.
Anna gets Jack's job in temporary, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, you're the only one that knows Jack's workload. You have to go to Jack's meeting today, right? She goes there. She speaks up as any like Devil Wears Prada scenario goes,
Yeah.
and gets his job. You know,
Acting. She gets the acting job,
Yeah,
where
right.
it's like she's temporarily
you're
there.
you're
Yeah.
the manager. Come on, we all know it.
Yeah.
Like we've seen many acting managers at work so far.
Yeah.
Our one friend has been acting manager for over a year.
Oh yeah.
So after that, shout out Pat, I love you. Whatever.
Name
Who
call.
cares? Whatever. He knows. He's like, I gotta get out of here. So anyway, after this, she doubts. She's like, Kristen, did you call any favors? And he's like, no, I didn't. Right? Like we did. This is the first time in the movie where I'm like, okay, they're acknowledging the audience and being like, this bitch just got the whole world on a platter. Like, there's no way he didn't call in a favor. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, I didn't. You did this on her own. And you're like, bullshit. Like, even afterwards, I'm
Yeah.
like, bullshit.
Fuck you.
Yeah, right? And my jealousy's playing in. I'm like, this is bullshit. First job ever. And she's like, because her actual first job ever was pretending to be someone else and then, like,
Yeah.
basically sleeping with a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, I'm already calling bullshit on your whole life. Like, so, this is another thing where then they go on a date, right? And, this is where he's like, you see it in the trailer, basically take your panties off, right?
Ooh.
Right? And I'm not gonna lie, this was hot. Like,
Yeah.
I've done this move, like the elevator move. I've done this move.
Oh, the elevator. I thought you
Yeah,
meant, like,
it's
telling
hot.
someone. It's done.
Like, basically, you just reach up behind the girl you're seeing, and you know, like, it's hot. It's good. It's a good move. It's a good move. I'm not gonna lie. But it has to be reciprocated, and it was in this movie. Like, I gotta be PC about this.
Yuck.
But this is probably the hottest scene in the movie.
Yeah,
honestly,
it was,
like,
yeah.
because it's leading to something.
It has a
right?
whole dangerous kind of, you can
But
potentially
also,
get caught.
like, if you're in an elevator, don't sit there and go, ah!
And yeah, she was like, ah!
Like,
Yeah, it would have been hotter if she
Screaming,
kept her
yeah.
mouth shut and like basically was like,
yeah.
you know, way hotter. Like she's not really. She's lessening the hotness.
Yeah.
by what she is doing. So then they're in his apartment, right? Because I guess the elevator led up to his place.
Is this well? They were leaving the restaurant, then they go back to his place, and then
Right.
he.
This is the billiard
asks-
scene.
Oh, this is the billiard.
Oh, see,
scene.
I didn't see that in my version.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. In the billiard scene, basically, when he gets into the room, she's ready to go. She's ready, right? And he's like, I gotta go and, I don't know, take a shower or something. I don't know what he says, right? I forget. But, so when he comes back, he's ready to go. And she's like, we're gonna play pool now, right? And he's like, what the hell? And she's like, you made me wait, so now I make you wait, right? Another power play, calling each other's bluff, right? And so they play pool, right? And immediately it's this like, girl knows to play pool. And I'm like, no shit, we all know how to play pool. Like, it's not even that, like, if it was like 1985.
pool is actually a very hard game to play.
It is, but
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
like
lie.
we're all decent enough to get 1 or 2 shots in.
Well, this is another movie trope.
It's not.
Right.
I,
Right?
me
A
and
girl,
my
you're like,
friends-
oh, it's a girl. She doesn't know, and then she like shows you up.
Me and
That's
my
a trope.
friends
It's
in
totally
high
a trope.
school, me and my friends like legitimately played pool once or more every week at our friends or at my place. Like several of us had pool tables, and like it became a thing. Like we knew all the rules, we knew the pool handbook, like we knew it
There's
front
not
to back.
that many rules,
No,
Jared.
there are. No, there's
Maybe you guys
there's-
just sucked.
No, there's different
we
rules.
knew
There's,
all the rules.
well, there's different variations as well. Like
okay,
there's
I'm
a
just
lot
talking
that goes
about
into
like
it.
striped solids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basic,
Basics.
but like there is a lot
All
that
the
goes into it.
rules.
Oh, don't piss on it because you don't know it.
I'm just saying, like,
saying that I don't know it, so I'm gonna shit.
no. I'm just what I'm saying is that like.
There's
Stripes,
stuff.
solids.
No.
Don't bounce it off the table. Don't get the white in with the black. You're
Oh,
good.
there's more than that. Trust me.
Well, I'm pretty
Anyway,
sure
like-
they're just playing this version that we're talking about.
Oh,
right
well,
now.
yeah.
They're not
Yeah,
going
they
hardcore.
are.
But at the
into
same
it.
time, like even like the simple like hit ball to other ball to go into pocket, like it's not easy. So I'm surprised they even like getting okay.
I was a math prodigy. I'm sorry.
A,
I'm like geometry.
Oh God, get out of here with your Schoolhouse Rock. But like
That's not
getting a
even
ball
one, I just
in,
made it up.
I know, but I'm making a joke too. But like getting a ball in, like right off the split, like that doesn't happen. That never happens.
Wait, when you break?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Oh no, it does not.
You just
No,
You just suck.
it does not happen.
Yes,
You just
it
suck.
does.
No,
It does happen.
doesn't.
I've done that.
I'd say 9 times out of 10 when I break.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I get something in, and
Yeah,
that's
me
what
too.
calls solid or
too.
stripe.
Oh,
Yeah.
you get sadness in, both of you.
No,
Wait,
I
what?
think you just suck,
No,
honestly.
okay, well,
That's
Moving on,
Yeah.
because I didn't see this scene in the movie, so I don't care about it.
so she's sinking 3-4 balls in at a row, and then finally messes up, right? Because like he's sweating it because vaginal balls. Their wager was basically if I win, you have to take me. Oh, she says if I win, you have to take me to the red room, right? Which also is an exact opposite of her entire character from the first movie. Like,
and she's been there before.
she's into it now. Between them breaking up and them getting back together, she's like, take me to that goddamn red room all day long. Red, 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 right?
but if he wins, he can do anything. We're
Right,
Like, what
he-
is he gonna do outside of that room
Of the
to
red
make you
room.
feel
yeah,
better?
right? Yeah.
What?
But you see what happens,
Yeah.
right? So, he's sweating it. He's like, oh God. Like, meanwhile, it's like, her winning is your winning. Like, why are you like, oh God, I'm so nervous, right? He's so nervous for no reason, right? Then he sinks a couple in, right? And she's trying to kind of distract him, like as she leans over with the pool cue, like any male versus female pool scene we've ever seen, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna like stroke this stick, you know? Like, it's so you're like whatever, and then he wins, right? And he decides to bend her right over the pool table right there and goes, I'm going to hit, I want to, what does he say? I want to destroy you or something. Like, basically, I want to hit you as hard as I can. I want to be violent with you, right? But even his violent isn't as violent as when he took a belt to her, which made her cry by the end of the last movie.
Well, so I think they heard the audience reception on this. They heard people talking back because this is when he doesn't spank her. He like open palm like contacts her, which is how you're supposed to sexually hit someone. You're supposed to
That
hit
sounded
them.
weird. I know, I get it, but like, that's how
like,
you're supposed
yeah, it
to
does.
sexually
But-
assault someone.
No, it is. It's you're supposed to hit them with more of like, not like a blunt force, but you're supposed to hit them with that like
A flat.
you're supposed
Like-
to hit them with your entire hand all in one contact rather than like smacking
Cupping
and
it?
ricocheting off.
Right, you're
Like,
not
you don't
supposed to
wanna
stiffen your
ricochet.
hand,
Yeah,
right?
you want to just kind of like you want to clap with them. You don't want to like smack them.
I get
Right?
it. Yeah.
Like think about clapping your hands.
Mhm.
It feels good. But then think about like smacking your palm. Your palm is going to hurt.
Yeah.
And that like in this scene he's actually doing that open palm just like flat contact and it's more of a gentle
Like a
thing.
paddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
she also says in this scene, like, this is, I almost used it for the theme song, like the little sound bites. Or did I? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. It's, hope you're not a sore loser. And she goes, that depends on how hard you spank me. And you're just like, okay, that was a trailer drop. Like, it's something they used for the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting that it got cut from the full movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's not even that bad. I don't know why it got cut.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't understand where it then, like, what happens after he feels her up in the elevator. Like, it just cuts away from that, apparently.
It just goes.
Yeah.
I think
So,
after
but
that
that's
scene, it just
that.
goes straight to where he asks her to, like, move in with him.
Yeah. So after that, they have another sex scene, right? Right there on the pool table. And then, damn it. Oh, yeah. This is Elena. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he does ask her to move in.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it in the most, like, awkward way. Like, would you like to keep clothes here? Like,
Stuff.
Yeah. Like, it's just so, and she's
After, and this is after, like, they've only been back together for, like, a week.
Right.
If that.
Meanwhile, like, I think there's a gymnasium scene that we missed that he actually did the stunt for because he recreated it on Conan. I saw that trivia to prove that he did do it, right? To, like, the entire
sexy
audience, like, yeah, the
scene!
entire audience flooded. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I flooded. I flooded this entire movie.
And then he does, and she's like, are you asking, like, did he, I don't remember when he asked her to marry him for the first of 5 times. Or, like, basically,
They haven't
the
a
first.
lot.
Well, no, he
Yeah.
only asks her to, like, technically like, marry him, I think, like, twice. But he asks her to move in first.
Okay, yeah,
In
yeah.
this scene.
It was
Right?
the move
and it's
in,
this, like,
and then it was
how
the marry.
adorable that a guy can't ask me to move in. And it's like, that's not adorable. Like, how about he grow some balls and just be like, can you move in? Like, I don't get it why people think that this is adorable and attractive. I'm over here almost 35 being like, can somebody move in, please?
Well, wait, did we even get to the files situation? Did we already skip over that?
I think we did.
Yeah, we chit-chatted
I'm sorry.
about it.
Oh, we already talked about it, I
Well,
guess.
because Elena, all right?
Yeah.
Elena was established as a girl that he used to date before Anastasia.
Girl before her.
Right. And Elena, they, like, she wanted a, like, further relationship. He did not, so he broke it off. Then Elena got married, and then her husband died, which immediately forced her to go and obsess about Christian again.
Yes.
I guess. Is that what you would do? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So, but yes, Christian has a file and a dossier on every single girl that he's ever been attracted to,
Fancy
and they
word.
all seem to be the same. They look exactly like his
They all
mother.
got the same modus operandi.
Yeah.
MO.
MO. And
Thanks, Mr.
so
Science Theater.
after this, he's like, will you move in with me? She's like, yeah, let me go to my apartment and just grab some things. It's just some toothbrush and stuff.
She
you
rap
know?
bop bop's back.
Right? She goes up to the apartment. He's like, I'll go with you, but then gets a phone call and
She's
she's like,
like,
I gotta stay downstairs.
Oh, I can go up on my own. It's okay.
Right?
It's just my apartment. Bye.
And Elena is upstairs in the apartment. I love this thing too, right? Where she's like
cocked.
checking the mail, and then she like looks up like, I think there's somebody in my apartment.
Well,
Right?
she
And
looks
then like
up,
looks
yeah.
around and is like, oh, I'm scared. Like you
doesn't-
already like suspected that there was somebody there. Why would you then be like
well, no,
additionally
she
startled?
doesn't even get scared though. She looks up and like not at the camera, but towards the camera, and is like, someone is behind me, and then turns around like, hello, I knew you were there.
Right?
And like kind of calmly does everything else. And then Christian comes upstairs and is like, hey, give me the gun.
okay,
Drop
wait.
to your knees.
Because this is okay. This is another instance, another character that I want to see more about than their bullshit, right? Because she goes, "Why do you love Master so much?" She's calling him Master. I'm like,
Yeah, it's kinda
yes, here we
creepy.
go.
Well, and
like,
she's
let's
like-
get into the dark side
Well,
of
and
this
she's
shit.
like, what makes you different than me?
right?
You know, and
why does
Anastasia's
Master
just,
love
and
you?
She's like,
Really, nothing
she's like
does.
Gollum.
yeah.
She really is. I was precious once.
She's like all trollish and just like,
Yeah.
Master love you more than me.
Although her story is kind of sad.
It is.
It is,
Like,
but it's like
She was
we
with
don't
him.
get enough of it.
We don't get enough of it. Yeah.
For me to care.
Yeah.
We don't get enough.
Well,
So-
and then Anastasia's
she-
like response is so vanilla. She's like, "What makes
Yeah.
you different, than me?" And she's like, "I don't know,
Nothing.
nothing."
I
And it's
don't
like,
know. We're both the same.
it's like, well, honestly, what does make her different than everyone else? Nothing. Like, she's so boring.
I have the one ring that rules them all. Like,
The
or I
one
will.
vagina
I
that
will
rules
have
them all.
Right? Ew.
one badge to rule them all.
Well, then, like, yeah, her friend, it's not her friend at all, but she's like, I can't, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I don't know what her end game is here.
I don't
What,
either.
Shoot her?
Because she's like jealous of her.
Come back to power? That's not how that works.
No, not at all. You
Yeah.
just die.
Well, she
or
wants
like,
to be
you get-
her. That's
Yeah.
Right.
But then
well,
also,
we're
like,
talking about an insane
crazy
person
mind.
here.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Right. So she fires off one gunshot, like as a
Like,
warning
pew!
shot, and then points it at her. And then Christian walks in the door and immediately is
Sit.
like using the
Stay.
force.
No, it was
Like-
it was like Jurassic Park when like he's like calming the raptors.
That's what I wanted to
He
say.
like comes in and she.
Hey, Blue. I know you, Blue.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because he pets her.
Sit.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, guys. If you're listening, if you're still in this 2 hours later, he basically, yes, he does the Chris Pratt, like, I see you, Blue. Hey, whoa, calm down. And then proceeds to be like, kneel, right?
Yes.
And she's like, I will kneel, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like,
she listens to all of
good.
these
Yes.
commands.
and pets her.
He pets her.
Right? And I'm like, where is this movie? I want this movie. I want it to go insane like
Well,
this.
and then he's like an asshole, and he's like, "Why don't you just do what I told you?"
yeah,
and,
he's like,
leave.
for once in your goddamn life, Anna, do what I fucking say.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm the goddamn dumb. I have no control over this situation.
Well, then, like,
like he's literally upset that he's like, look at this bitch right here. Look, she kneeled. And,
Yeah.
like he's upset. He's do
so
you
are
see-
you.
I
Jesus
just-
Christ.
That's
You're
how
like-
he felt.
you're
You
so
got
passionate
so
about this
into
scene.
character.
I
I'm
know.
afraid.
But how upset was he? Right? He was so
No.
upset. He's
I
like,
don't
just
know.
God
He
damn
was
it,
like a
Taylor,
7
take her
out
to
of
the
10,
fucking
and you
car.
were like a 9 out
I'm
of
gonna
10.
go fuck this girl right
I'm
here.
still afraid. Dial it back, Tupac. Jesus.
Tupac.
I don't
That
know.
was
He
weird.
seemed like he might get angry.
Well, maybe.
Well, anyway,
on the
she,
set of
like,
Nothing But
leaves.
Trouble.
She leaves, and she's like upset, and she doesn't want to get in the car, and she's like, "I'm leaving," and
yeah,
then
she
like
walks off and has like
leaves.
depression montage.
And it's
of,
the
like,
whole montage of like it's
I can
raining
wear a
and
hood
she's
in the
sad.
I don't know why I should feel sad here. This
don't
is the
either.
rain, the sad rain music.
Sad rain
montage,
scene, yeah.
Right? And it's like, I'm a sad girl in Seattle. It's always raining, so I'm not sure if I should feel bad. Like, that's how it feels. I'm just like, I don't care because you've done this to yourself. Like, I don't, like, if he was a nice guy, he just got finished petting another girl. I don't feel like I should be
creepy.
Well, she
sad.
knows he has a fucked up history. Like, I don't really understand why is she so hardcore jealous. Like,
This is the trope of, like, you have a troubled past, I can fix you.
Yeah.
You were in jail, it's okay, I can fix you. It's every girl that has a person that's been in jail. Like, it's sad. So, after this...
well, he's like obsessing, like where she's been. He's on the phone.
Well, she comes back,
Yeah,
too.
she does.
Immediately comes... She
Well, and
just
then
needed
he's-
to take a walk.
Yes, and then he literally says, like, "Where the fuck have you been? I've been looking for
He
you."
says fuck,
He
too.
does. He says
Yeah,
fuck.
right? Like, what I just did the previous scene, he didn't actually go that hard. But he says fuck in this, right? And I was like,
Yeah,
damn, that's
so
the first time he dropped the
aggressive. It's
F-bomb.
scary.
Right? Over what? The fact that she took a walk? Like, she wasn't even gone maybe 8 hours.
She was gone 3 hours.
Oh, they confirmed it?
Yes.
I didn't
He
hear
said,
it.
"Where have you been for the last 3 hours?" or something like that.
Yep.
And then she's like, "I just need space,"
Yeah. So...
which is a natural thing
And
that
this
people
is
do.
the proposal.
And
scene,
also, he was
right?
with the psycho chick, so it's not like the psycho chick was gonna do something to her. So,
No.
like, why is he stressed out about where she is?
And meanwhile, she gets jealous too, and is like, "Is she here?"
Yeah,
It's like
is she
she's like,
here?
and I love his response. There is like, "No, you ain't fucking stupid." like it's really on point in this moment of being like, "What are you? I'm not." I mean, I've done some stupid things, but like, come on.
So basically, the
I'm in
only
control.
realistic scene of this entire movie.
Yeah, right. So after this, The movie, like, he proposes to her, right? They have another sex scene.
They have another touching moment where
That's
she
right.
touches him and then she forgives him.
Yes, he's like, touch me in the place that you're not supposed to touch me, right?
And then he does the whole like,
right? And she's like, I need to climb all over you because you've showed me your heart. And then
they get back together.
Yeah, they have another sex, but it's not a sex scene. They just have sex, right? But it's another scene where she gets out of bed and is fully nude, right? And the movie is like, we're just showing breasts for no reason. Like, it's pointless, right? And he has like a dream sequence. Or like it's not a dream sequence. He's just no.
She walks out. This is after the marriage. No, this is during. This is right before.
Yeah.
They have a heart to heart. She walks out and she's like, I love my life. And she's like on the balcony of his apartment.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just hear him going, no.
Which is what he does in the beginning of the first scene.
But it's like someone is getting his order wrong at McDonald's.
I feel like nobody ever. I mean, I haven't slept next to a bunch of people, but enough people to be like, I've never heard anybody be like, no, oh God, like that doesn't happen.
It's more of like,
but then it's like, yeah,
so crumpets.
She comes back in, and I hate this stupid trope of whenever someone is having a bad dream, someone comes back in, and they like automatically they do that thing to where they're like, I'm your savior, it's me, I'm the person. But she comes back in and she goes, I'm here, it's me, I'm here. And it's like, just because they're having a bad dream doesn't mean you're gonna save them.
Also,
it doesn't matter
probably
if you're
your
there
fault
or
he's
not.
having a bad dream because he's used to sleeping alone.
I was like, you're bringing up memories, girl. Get out of there. Don't say something. Jesus Christ. And then he's like, I love you. Will you marry me? And she's like,
this is the gymnasium scene right after this.
Are you making omelets in the morning? Like, is her response.
Yeah.
Is there going to be bacon?
So
you think it could be Canadian?
Yeah. She wakes up. He's working on the gym. And he, like, plays with her. She's like, do you remember anything about last night? He's like, nothing
dreams?
Except for this whole thing about me marrying you. Right?
Don't play me.
Scene number 2 about marriage, right? Yeah. So there's number 2. Like I said, there's 5 in this before an actual, like, confirmation of anything, I guess. Right? So after this, the movie decides to pan over to, like, it does an establishing shot of the Space Needle. Right?
Yeah, it does.
But then shows her get into bed. I'm like, does she live in the Space Needle?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do an establishing shot of the Space Needle, and then, like, I immediately am like, I guess she lives in the Space Needle. Like, you can't do that, right? You could do it if, like, it was just a blank skyline. Then you're like, Seattle or Portland. It doesn't matter. And, like, but you can't go that close. I was like, it was a flyby of the Space Needle. And immediately it shows her getting the bed with bra and panties. And we have a pointless scene where
she has no bra on.
I don't care.
We've seen them enough.
I don't care. Yeah, I
remember her getting
5
out of bed
breast
going,
scenes,
oh,
and her in lingerie is not even attractive to me as a straight male. I'm like,
I remember she got out of bed and I was like, boobs, and I was like, I hope I don't see bush, and then I was like, nah, she's wearing underwear. It's fine.
But in this scene, we have a pointless scene of being like, have you given me an answer yet? And she's like, be patient, Mr. Gray, or something like that. So. Scene number 3 of talking about whether will she, won't she, right? So, after this, the movie decides to take a U-turn for a second and goes, hey, I'm going to fly in a helicopter. God damn it.
Why were they in a helicopter?
No idea. He says he needs to go on a business trip. He goes on a business trip with some chick that I don't know, but I'm supposed to know, whose name is Roz. I don't know who she is.
I don't even know who that is.
Shortcut over Mount St. Helens.
A shortcut over Mount St. Helens. Okay, does anybody know about Mount St. Helens?
Because St. Helens?
Shut the fuck up.
Your fault. Your problem. Don't care.
I'm drunk. Whatever. Does anybody know? Is Mount St. Helens actually active? Anybody who's listening, can you give us a
I honestly
response?
don't
no,
think so.
I don't think so.
Because here's the problem. when you insert into the
Dorman.
movie being like, I'm going to take a shortcut over Mount St. Helens, then your helicopter has a double engine fire, I'm going to assume it's not somebody sabotaging a helicopter, but the fact that you flew over Mount St. Helens, an active possible volcano. Like, don't put that in the movie if you're wanting us to think that it was sabotaged by maybe Jack, right?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Go ahead, spoil it. Is it?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember that scene.
No, the scene is also like it's cut halfway through the movie. Like the scene in theatrical, and this is what really sucks about the unrated is anybody who's watching unrated, the scene cuts when he's like, "Hold on, we're going down. Hold on, we're going down." Right, and cuts before they go down.
I don't remember a lot of that scene in the version that I watched because all I remember is them like turning on the news and them talking about like, there's some helicopter accident
so
or some
that's what
shit.
happens, and
like,
that makes it better. This unrated version decides to show him actually get control of the helicopter and kind of scrape land, right?
Yeah, no,
which
see,
makes
I didn't
you go
see any
like,
of that stuff.
I
could have
feel
fast
not
forwarded.
invested.
I don't know.
I don't care because I'm like. He's fucking alive. Plus, I know 50 Shades Freed is the next book. Like, I know he's alive. It's fine, right?
So we also like as he's doing that, we get back like
God, I am way into this.
She's
You're more into it than I am.
Anastasia's getting drinks with like her friends, and they're like, "Woo wee!" And this is when
with
Anastasia's
Jose
gonna,
again.
yeah,
Jose, but plus
and her friends,
Christian's brother and her roommate.
Yeah,
so they're all there.
And so like she's gonna finally tell them that Christian proposed, blah blah blah. They're getting married, but then they like Christian's brother gets a phone call and is like, helicopter accident. We don't know where your brother is. And so they're like, and they go back up to the apartment.
Plus, she's like hanging out with all his family members.
Yeah,
like I cannot establish how long this has been.
Yeah, so they all go back up to Christian's apartment and they're like, "Boo, sadness." And the news broadcast is like, "We don't know where he is. We hope they're okay." And then like they're like, "They found them. They're okay." And as the news is saying
it, he rolls into the
elevator
door.
opens.
He's like,
and
"Hey,
Christian's
what happened?
like,
What's
"Hi."
going on?" Whoa.
And he's got like a bloody forehead.
Right? Did he not go to the? Did he walk
Yeah.
home?
Exactly.
Did he walk home?
He went straight home and was like,
I don't get it.
Like you have to like there has to be an investigation
checked
before you can
out.
go home.
Jesus.
Hey, whoa, what happened?
You know, they gotta make sure you're not drunk. They gotta make sure
Yeah.
you're not hurt. They gotta clean you up.
Did
like
you make me dinner, bitch?
they just skipped a lot of steps.
like, there's so much skipped, right?
So then-
also the family dinner scene apparently has been added in too.
Well,
Like,
it's not
that
even
wasn't a
dinner. It's
thing.
just like them sitting around a dinner table,
Reminiscing
and then
about his like times that he was
his
in a
terror
helicopter
times.
crash.
Yeah.
And
then so they're like chatting about it, and then they're all like, "Well, they're probably tired, so we got to let them get to bed." And so this is also when Anastasia says to Jose, she goes, "Oh, so we'll see you at the birthday tomorrow?" And he's like, "Don't push your luck. Jose's at the birthday tomorrow." Cool.
Yeah.
Why would you say
right?
don't push your luck if you're not if you
That was
are
weird.
actually going to show up, Jose?
Also,
you
it's
bitter
like-
asshole.
I don't give a shit about Jose.
I know.
Me
Like
neither.
in a movie, like I said, that spends 95% with only 2 actors.
Because even
Why-
Twilight established more about Jacob. You cared about him a little
Yeah.
bit. Whereas Jose, you really don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, unless Jose like pulls a like last minute like knife at the wedding, like
He's
I
more.
don't care.
I mean, he's more in the first one than he is in the second one, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, I don't know.
And then so like they send
I thought he
everyone
was gonna
out.
be done after the nightclub like assault.
Yeah, same. So they send everyone out of like the penthouse elevator. They all go down, and then she's like, "Oh my God, it's after midnight." And he's like,
Because it's his
"Yeah,
birthday. We forgot.
cool."
It's his birthday.
Won't spoil that
Yeah.
one. Jesus.
What?
He's like, "Yeah, cool," and she's like, "It's your birthday."
Yeah.
He's like,
And she's like,
they
"You
do it
still got
every
that-"
year. And
She's
she's like, yeah, because it's your birthday.
She's like, "You got that gift I got ya?" And it's like it's a keychain that's like happy birthday, or it's like it says Seattle, and then on the other side it says yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's her like, "Yes, I'm gonna move in. Yes, I'm gonna marry you and stuff." And they're like, "Woo!"
And then
the
they
next
have
day
a
is
red room
Christian's-
scene.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird
nothing.
turny.
They
That's
finally-
a weird position.
Huh? Oh, the red room one? No, that. Yeah. Oh, you mean where he goes like side doggy?
Yeah,
But that's this is the one where I was like, does he have a chode dick? Because like he literally, as he turns her side doggy, he's immediately like, boom, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right. There's no like, oh, I got to fuddle
this
or
is-
like
this
kind
is
of
when
back out
yeah.
or anything. Like there's just like beep. Oh,
This
we're
is
in.
when I noticed it too. I was like, his stuffs are like boop 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 boop, 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 boop. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll probably
Right?
get a little bit more in there, dude.
She's a tiny girl, so I gotta go tiny.
And then,
yeah.
So they bone, they consummate the proposal, and
Right?
then
She's like laying in his arms.
Yeah,
like-
they have like a cute scene of sitting,
Which
in each
I thought
other's
he was
whatever.
still like in her at this point. I
Yeah.
really did.
And then Anastasia, after that, like the next morning, calls her mom and is like, "I'm getting married." And her
Another
mom is
scene.
like,
This is where the mom
"Cool."
has a cold sore. Like you
Yeah.
can see it like right there.
That's her
Oh, yeah.
mole.
She has a mole?
Yes, that's her
Oh,
mole.
it looks like a cold sore. I'm sorry.
Well, it's all happy and fun, and then they go to Christian's parents' house, and Christian's like, "Thank you for all being here," and
And of course, this is Robinson
my
there.
mom, was like, my
Which
mom,
we
my
forgot
dad,
about
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like that's the problem is like Jack and Robinson, the two main people that I feel like are gonna play into the next movie, are so equally forgotten about.
Yeah.
Until we need them, right?
And they just show
Well-
up there. But why wouldn't their family be like, "You're not allowed to come here"? Like,
okay, well,
who let them
Robinson-
in?
Robinson
Is friends with
after
her
this-
mother, though, yeah.
After this, it happens.
Yeah.
Jack is like in the farce somewhere by the end of the I don't even know what's happening. He's like Mr. Dumbness.
Right.
Like, okay, so here we go. Guys, finale time. Finally.
He tells
right?
everyone, like, "Thank you for being here. My parents have done everything." And then he's like, "But also getting married to Basic." And they're like, "Woo!"
We
And,
always loved
yeah,
her
They all
for 6 months.
they go along, and then like the party's dwindling down, and then Mrs. Robinson comes up to Anastasia, and she's like, "Hi," and they're like, "Hi, this is awkward." And then she's like, "You'll never be who he wants you to be. You can't do it." Blah. And then
Yeah.
Anastasia like throws her
her
drink
drink,
in her
yeah.
face, and it's like,
It's gotta
"Whoa."
burn.
And then, but also Christian walked up just in the nick of time, which I love this about movies. Whenever like someone actually overhears the drama, instead of like, "Why did you do that?" and like they expand the drama, I hate that so much. It's like, just overhear 2 sentences of dialogue, just explain yourself. Movies never do that. It makes me so mad.
I'm
And
going to
then-
interject.
I know.
It happened to me. It happened to me. I swear.
Did you talk it out with the person?
Huh? Huh?
Did
Here's what happened.
Okay.
You ready?
Story.
You
time.
ready? Okay. Story time. Here
I'm
we
not
go.
ready, but you're
Right?
gonna do it anyway.
Okay. I was dating a girl, right? And she was a bridesmaid in her brother's wedding, right? Meanwhile,
She
before
fucked her brother.
No,
Oh.
what the fuck? That's
Sorry.
weird.
Oh.
Meanwhile, like she was dating one of her brother's friends prior to me. The brother's friend also in the wedding as a groomsman, right? Coincidentally, also before me, like, and I guess while they were together, like, decided like they were going to pair them up to walk down the aisle. So it was already like, that's awkward now that you're broken up, right? But I went, like, during the rehearsal dinner, I went to the bathroom. This guy followed me to the bathroom. Had a full interaction of being like basically the whole thing of like, she'll never love you like she loves me kind of thing, right? I swear to God, I was like 25, I think, so like 10 years ago, right? And then she actually walked around the corner to like follow me, like, and caught our entire interaction and like put him in his place. And I was like, yeah, movie moment. Like, swear to God. So it does happen. I will say that, like,
well, no,
yes,
I'm
it
saying,
is a
like,
trope.
People never. What I'm saying is like, people never talk it out and they never overhear. When it's like,
Mostly
really, you
not.
just walked around the corner. Come on.
No,
And
because
movies,
we didn't
like-
talk it out that
yeah.
night. It was like, it was awkward, like, yeah.
Well, it worked out, didn't it?
I mean, I slept with her
kidding.
by the end of the night.
And you moved on. But
Yeah.
so then, like, obviously,
And now I'm
Christian-
here, and
yeah.
she's somewhere else. I don't know.
Christian rolls up and is like, "You're kind of a bitch. Get out of here." And then, like, he's
Well, he
like,
gives her like a cloth
No,
to
no,
wipe
no, no.
her face.
The line.
Yeah,
You ready
he-
for the line?
he's like,
You taught
fuck-"
me how to fuck. She taught me how to love.
Yeah. And then, but all the
What?
meanwhile, like, Christian's mom or his like adoptive mom
I
is
thought it was
standing
you
behind
never
him.
taught me how to love or something like that.
Mm,
Either way, his
know.
mom walks in and then
And
slaps
she
her.
overhears it and slaps him. But then, like, Christian has to explain to his mom that, like, she molested
but we don't
him,
get that scene,
essentially.
and that's the scene I want. Instead,
Yeah.
we get Anna back in the room looking at
she's
his
like-
mom's picture.
But she's like, "Did you talk to your mom?" He's like, "Yeah, she was upset." Moving on. By the way,
I wanted. See,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Is this movie never gives me interactions of other people within their bubble. It's just their bubble, and honestly, I
Which
don't
is
care
boring.
about their bubble.
yeah.
Right? I want to hear like, oh my God, like, what was it like? Did she harass you? Like, do we need to press charges? Like,
Yeah.
I want that story. Like 50 shades of indictment. I just, like, that's what I want, you know? Like,
Yeah, the mom being a mom and just talking to him about that stuff.
But then we flash over instead. We flash over to Anastasia and Christian, and she's like, last time you were carrying me out here on your shoulder and spanking my butt. And he's like, ×2.
Meanwhile, like, does the picture of the mom look like it was taken, like, last year?
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, he's at
Not
least
recent,
20 to 20.
He's 27.
27,
That's
right?
how old he's
that
supposed to
picture
be.
looks like it was taken last year. Like, it's professionally done. It's like, I think it is Elena. Like, I'm not quite sure.
He was born in, like, what, 1980. She was, no.
No, 1990.
1990. I forgot my own age. He was born in 1990, and so the mom probably was about like,
which he looks too old for that
91
age.
or 92. Yeah, he does.
That was
not look
another
like
issue
me.
I have
No.
with him is he looks too old.
Yeah. And then so Anastasia and him go out to like a house, and then he's like, it's kind of like an indoor pool house.
Just to tally it up, him announcing the proposal to the rest of the party is the 4th time we're talking about.
But
them
that's like
getting
the
married,
official public
right?
one.
Right.
And then he's like, I got to do it right because Mia, his sister, that is a shapeshifter, she's like, where's the ring? And they're like, not yet. We're going to get it later. But I'm sure, like, knowing Christian, he's had some creepy, like, while she was asleep, he put a ring on her finger and was like, that's the fit. Like,
right.
He doing him.
Right. Yeah, because he doesn't tell her things until she's asleep.
And then, so they go into this pool house, and she's like, oh, it's beautiful. And he's like, don't be afraid to walk on water. And she's like, what? And there's glass over the top of the water. And so they walk out, fireworks go off, and then she turns around, he's holding a ring out, and they propose, and it's happy. And it's
Guess
fun.
what?
Yeah.
That would be fabulous and romantic and everything that, like,
if you
apparently
were on your
the people
fifth
that are
proposal,
reviewing this would, if it wasn't the 5th time we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
Like, it's not already, it's already like.
I thought they were already engaged. Like, I was like,
it's like, if you announce it to the rest of the world, you're good, right? And so it's like, I don't need this scene anymore.
It is,
well, and
though,
it just
it's a
proved that
subtle,
he's.
like,
Well, it also
backdoor
proved that
route.
he's like
I get
controlling
it.
again because remember he said to everybody, "Oh, we're gonna pick it out together." Oh, look what he has—a fucking ring that he didn't pick out with her.
Thank
like,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it's not romantic. It like anybody, because let me tell you, as we get to the end of this, Abbie, what we've been doing lately is what I'm calling 5-star reviews. I'll come up with a good name for it. Like that's another show's like version of it. But basically, it's people who found this to be 5 stars. Right, and I've read
like
through
Amazon
a lot.
reviews and you read
Yes.
them.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I pull mostly from IMDb. They tend to be a little more crazier. So we're about to get to that, right?
Okay.
But there's a lot of people who were like, "This is the most romantic scene I've ever seen." Are you like? I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" Like Sleepless in Seattle was like more romantic, and that was like, "Hey, you're up top here too. All right, cool." Like that. Moulin Rouge is more romantic, and she died.
Yeah.
Like, this is not romantic, especially after 4
This is
previous scenes
toxic.
about being like, are you going to marry me? I don't know. Am I? I don't know. Like, let's talk about it later. Like, so fireworks are happening, right? Like, they've proposed to each other. They're, like, all ending up, and then we see Jack.
Creeping.
Oh yeah,
In the
stalking,
darkness.
and he
Right?
burns a photo, like the photo he took
Burns-
earlier. He like burns a cigarette through Christian's face.
Mhm.
It's like,
Meanwhile,
all right,
like,
cool.
I don't know. Most people would probably just have the photo on their phone to look
Yeah.
at. Like,
It's
you
not a
print
thing
it
that
out.
people do.
Like, people don't print it out just so they can burn it.
Also,
Like-
it's a printout of a photo that he took of a photo
Yeah.
Right.
with his phone.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's also, like, wearing eyeliner like he's been punched
Yeah.
in the eye. And I was like, did Taylor do that? Like, I don't
we don't
understand.
know. We didn't get
right?
to see that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the movie just cuts to black. It's actually more abrupt than the last movie.
And then it goes da 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 da.
Well,
So that's Fifty
there we
Shades.
were.
That's what
Yeah.
Shades. Yay!
Yay!
We finally made it 1,000,000 hours later.
I know. No, this is fine. This is fine. This is what people deserve. You know what? This is our most downloaded episode ever. We want to make sure that, like, people really got into.
We go through every detail of
we're
it.
gonna go and like I'll tell you what. Here's what happens: is we're gonna go see 50 Shades Freed, you know, as individuals, or maybe we'll see together. Let's have fun.
Yikes!
And then we'll wind up like coming back in a year from now and doing this as the last Valentine's. Like that's what's gonna happen
For 5 hours.
For 5 hours, right? By that point, people like if you're still listening, you get it. So, W's, guys. Would you recommend this? Like, what are your W's? Where is it?
If you've seen the first one, just keep on because
Keep on
honestly,
trucking?
like there's the weird fantasy of like, what if a rich man scoops me up and wants to just do dirties?
Do
That's about it.
dirties?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to do dirties. Are you down to do
I
dirties?
mostly am into it just because like the fantasy. I
Yeah.
won't lie, at all.
Okay.
I'm into it.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that if you're bored and you're into the fantasy of, I don't know, rich, white, powerful men who are shitbags and you don't care, go for it. You know,
So
like if
our
you're the typical
government-
girl that winds up like meeting me on a dating site and then not
Oh.
into me, yeah,
I
go
thought
ahead.
you said
cool.
rich. Oh.
Huh? Yeah.
Well-
No, you're the typical girl that is not into me
Oh,
by
yeah.
the end of the
Never
date.
mind. Yeah,
cool.
there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Normal OC chicks. Newport Beach, you know.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think I would recommend this if you're a twi mom. I would also.
Hey, Mom, you want to go ahead and see
Full
this?
circle.
I would also recommend this if you're the kind of person that sort of just wants to like go through like the motions of like a porno, but it's not like really like ready for a porno. Like this is like how you learn, I guess, how to identify a toxic relationship.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
but I think it's an important message that we say this too, that you know if you're in this kind of situation that you seek help.
Please.
I'm really
Please.
serious though, like because
Yeah.
this is a terrible relationship, and I can't believe she said yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys ready for some reviews to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. These are all 5 stars, right? Number 1, this is from an Amazon reviewer. This is from Mari Squiron. Okay. Titled November 8th, 2007. Okay.
That's
Title? Yeah.
2007. The book.
I mean, 2017.
I was like,
sorry.
the book wasn't even out.
Trust me, this happens to me all the time. It's fine. All right. Title, 5 stars. Ready?
Okay.
It's okay. That's it.
Pretty good. It's okay.
Okay, to be fair, I saw a lot of reviews that were like, and here's the next one, right? And then you'll see it. Okay, 5 out of 5 stars, right? Title, like baiting deer with corn, right? Review, my wife was the deer. That's it.
Oh.
Like baiting deer with the corn. My wife was the deer. Like, there's a lot of dudes who are like, bought this for my wife. She likes it. I swear, it's like 244 reviews, and half of them were like 5 stars. My wife got wet.
Ew, my wife got wet.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay, here's a good one. Title, by David's Mail 008. February 11th, 2017, right? So basically when the movie came out.
Yes.
Right? Title, 10 or so fun sex scenes.
10
Okay.
or so.
When a person thinks of this movie, what a person thinks of this movie depends on what he thinks of the intent. If that intent is well done, and whether or not the intent is worth doing in film. In this case, we have 10 or so sex scenes set within a larger drama. The larger drama is the pursuit of a billionaire of Anastasia Steele and the pursuit of the fiction editor where Miss Steele works of her as well. It's written weird.
This
It's not my
person
fault.
sounds like they have a bullshit philosophy
Right?
degree.
Yeah.
Wait for it. Writers could create a movie of Romeo and Juliet, either with or without a sex scene, and with differing emphasis on the sex scene. Depending on the depiction of possible sex in Romeo and Juliet, the question would arise as to what intent a writer might have. Is the point of 50 Shades Darker to tell us the story of the pursuit, or to show us the 10 or so sex scenes while we think we are seeing the story of the romantic pursuit of Miss Steele? In this case, the background drama is tolerable and somewhat okay, and there are 10 or so sex scenes, which are intriguing and interesting. The sex scenes also include semi-public fondling in an elevator and a stimulation by pleasure balls at a masked ball, the use of leg restraints to flip over Anastasia to set her up for sex, and various shots of Anna in lingerie or nude.
And there are 10
I
or
just
so
took.
of
I
them.
just took a nap.
Yep.
This is so long.
I know. I think the plot is mostly dumb, at times somewhat irrational, but the sex and nudity was good and fun, and that makes the movie worthwhile, that alone. So a person might ask, what information is a spoiler for the movie? Is it that Christian Grey asks Steele to marry him and says yes after holding him in suspense and also believing that he will succeed of being a better person? Or is it the 10 or so sex?
Oh my god!
I hate this person.
Yes.
I know. Mostly we hate these guys. They're long and
But
drawn on.
that one was
but,
so
he's
painfully long.
Right? No. They usually are. Like the good ones are because they're like trying to get to a point, but it's mostly like I like the 10 or so sex scenes and can't really just acknowledge that I do. Yeah. So after that, there's 2 more.
God.
Right? 5 out of 5 stars. Glad Mrs. Robinson got slapped. Okay. I loved his eyes and smiles. She was darling and innocent very well. He commented on how professional she was. I watched the movie 5 times just to see how well they acted together.
Whoa.
Right?
She probably had a
I mean, this sounds like a
No.
review from my grandma.
When you hear what grandma's very accurate. Ready?
Ooh.
There was more kissing than anything else. My boyfriend 45 years ago dated Kim Basinger once. He wasn't that impressed. He won the date on his fraternity. He said something about her biting her nails and talking about herself too much. I like the movies, especially when Kim got wine thrown in her face. His mom slapped Kim good. I always liked her acting. 5 stars.
It wasn't wine, though.
This is literally a woman who's just like, oh, fuck yeah, Kim's got it coming to her. Like, she dated my
took
boyfriend.
it way too personally.
Like her boyfriend of 45 years. It's like, I dated Kim Basinger. And she's like, no. Fuck Kim Basinger.
God.
I'm gonna, like, this is the movie she's been waiting for her whole life.
Also, I love that she called it wine.
Yeah, right?
A martini.
Yeah, if
up.
that, right? Okay, one last one. 5 out of 5 stars. Title, A Different Kind of Superhero Movie.
What?
No. Skip. Done. Pass.
Okay.
Pause.
Compared to Batman versus Superman,
Oh, dear God.
this movie is amazing. Compared to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it should win an Oscar.
Whoa!
It has the same premise as most superhero movies.
It doesn't.
Galaxy is in trouble, gotta get the Infinity Stones before Darkseid comes along, etc., etc.
Who's Darkseid?
He's from, actually, DC, not Marvel. The only difference is that the key to saving the planet this time happens to be
Of a giant.
mass amounts of bondage and spur-of-the-moment raunchy lovemaking.
Squirt of the moment.
Quite the different take on the superhero genre, but it works in this setting.
It doesn't
5
work 'cause it's
stars.
I feel like this person has to be a troll. Like, there's no way this can
I
be
know,
a
right?
serious review.
Okay, so this is what happens a lot in what I've been finding now that we're doing this, right? Is that there's constant people who are like, we did, what was it, Gem? Where they're like, watch Gem and the Holograms. It ain't like some shitty Star Wars movie. Like, people are hating on, like, the top of the box office. Like, just because they're like, I don't like Star Wars. Like, it's so, like, hate. And I found this in this. this isn't the only superhero where they were hating on superhero kind of stuff, or I think somebody did a hate towards Spider-Man Homecoming in the review, but that was the only dig. But like, people dig on other things that come out and are actually successful because they're upset that the thing that they love isn't successful. Like, it's a huge trope, especially in these current movies. Yeah. So that's our 5-star reviews. I mean, they're ridiculous, right? Like, I mean, a lot of them were like, I don't understand all the hate. Like, if you just read the books, you would understand. We're telling you from somebody who's read the books, right?
Yeah.
It's still
terrible.
10% on Rotten Tomatoes for a reason. Yeah, it's still shit.
It's still shit.
Yeah. So that just about does it for us here at Bombs Away. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you follow us Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Bombs Away Show. You can always write to us, contact at Bombs Away Show if you have something a little more intimate that you want to point out that we did wrong. Or like rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. That always matters, and we always shout you out in the Shorties episodes. I'd like to thank our special guest today. 4th time!
Yay!
4th time!
More!
I know. Like, eventually we're going to get you to pick the movie that you want to do.
Ooh, yay!
I know. So thank you, Abbie. Thank you for joining us again.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Oh, no, it's always a blast. Like, I have a blast every time you're on. Like, so if you'd like to experience a little more of Abbie as a special guest, please make sure you check out Slumber Party Massacres 1 and 2 episodes. I think it's episode 34 and 35. And then Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, the drinking party episode.
Or just harass you guys on social medias and tell them you want more of me.
Absolutely. More. Please. And anything you want to plug, Abbie? Like, people, where they can find you? Is that something that
you can find me on Twitter.
Thing?
You can find me on Twitter at Abbie S. Bauer. Yeah, that's where I am currently.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
I certainly go. I kind of.
You're like, I'm not wandering anymore.
I kind of go through phases.
I just kind of go to Texas now.
Hey, no, I kind of go through phases when it comes to social media, and right now Twitter seems to be my platform.
Okay.
So that's where I am most of the time.
Right, especially because they added like more characters, like double the characters. You're like, I can talk now.
Yay!
Okay, cool. So, what is that Twitter? One more time.
It's Abbie S. Bauer.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else? Instagram? Anything like that? Or you just
my Instagram is also the same, but I haven't been on there a while.
Well, you better get to it, and then you can repost Twitter.
Wait, B-A-U-E-R?
It's A-B-B-I-E-S Bauer, B-A-U-E-R.
Okay.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jared, you got anything? No? Yeah.
What was my
anything to promote? Jared.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a D in there.
Stop. It always is a D.
It's
okay?
not a D. It's a T.
Whatever. You
J-A-R-R-E-T-T.
blame Subway.
Oh, Subway has the child pedophile. I am not that.
I know.
Ugh, I will not blame Subway.
Anyway.
I'm better than that.
Go ahead.
No, Jarrett_David does not have anything to plug, but that's on my social media. So if you want to follow me, like, I'm pretty neat, I'm pretty hip, I'm pretty cool.
Okay, awesome. Well, just follow us at Bombs Away Show. There's enough things with me and Jared tagged in it that, like, you can follow us individually. I'm not going to plug myself. I don't care.
The T.
Yeah, you're welcome. And other than that, thank you for joining us for another episode.
Yep.
Next week, get ready for My Bloody Valentine. Oh, God, this is a good one. I wish you were there for that one.
No, I was
really
there,
did.
wasn't I? Oh, no, I was there for the, what was that movie we watched? Groundhog's Day kind of thing.
Groundhog's Day kind of thing? Wait, what?
I thought that was the same movie.
No, it's not. No. My Bloody Valentine is next week. That's for Valentine's actually week. So please enjoy that one. And then, other than that, my name is Jonathan.
I'm Jarrett.
And I'm Abbie.
All right. And, I don't... I can't.
Spank me, Daddy.
Da
Spank me.
da 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 da.
What is this? What is the theme song for this movie?
No, I can't. I don't know. I can't sing it.
Taylor Swift. And
Got me
Taylor Swift
looking
and
so
Zayn.
crazy right
No,
now.
that was the first one.
Well, it's still in the trailer, right?
No, it's
Well,
not.
whatever. This is the one that was Zayn and Taylor Swift.
Well, how's that go?
Da 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 da.
What? All right. See you, folks.
Something about love. I don't know.
Yeah. Love, love, beat me, love. Spank me hard, love.
Hey, this is Jarrett with the Bombs Away podcast, and we are here in the Frida Cinema recording our podcast. So the Frida Cinema is a program of the Long Beach Cinematique, and it's located here in Santa Ana in Southern California. It serves the neighboring communities, and it is a non-profit art house cinema dedicated to enriching, connecting, and educating communities through the art of cinema. It's here to entertain, and that's why the entertainment industry exists. So what they show on these screens is pretty amazing. They have things such as the Director's Series, and it features directors such as Martin Scorsese, Mel Brooks, and Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman, if you didn't know, did The Toxic Avengers and The Class of Nukem High. They also have something called Friday Night Freakouts, and this is presented by OC Weekly. It has films that are among the horror or sci-fi kind of genre. They've done films such as Lost Boys, Hackers, and The Room. They've also featured anime like Your Name and Akira. Some other things they do are double features. They've done things such as Hot Fuzz mixed with Shaun of the Dead, which is actually two pretty good films. They also show a lot of cool things among the lines of indie films. They have The Void, which is currently on Netflix, and they also have had Academy Award-winning films such as Best Film winner Moonlight, which I think is pretty awesome that it showed in this space before it actually went up. If you want more information about showtimes, location, and everything film and entertainment related to the Frida Cinema, you can go to www.thefridacinema.org. You can also follow on Facebook at facebook.com/thefridacinema and on Instagram and Twitter at The Frida Cinema. The Frida Cinema, for filmmakers, for film goers, and for you.
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?